because, as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. You're in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie. Oh, Jan. Oh, Jan. Let us do the sound check. Un momento, mami, slow your tempo. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's going on? That's my northern voice. Let's have a look at this. Uh-oh. Damn. Damn you. Damn you. Let's get this. Uh-oh. Damn. Damn you. Damn you. Damn. Uh-oh. Let's have a look at this. Uh-oh. Damn. Damn you. Damn you. Okay, let's mute that. I think we're good. Sounds okay to me. Okay, let's fix up the screen. Let's fix up the screen. Stop sharing that. Where are we? Where are we? Where's the thumbnail? Where is it? Boom. 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 A very good one, if I may say so, fits the color scheme. Okay. You're in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie 360. Boom. Let me smash that like button. There's 5 people up in here right now. Let's have a look. Smash that like button on your way in. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. We're going to be covering a number of topics tonight. Hello and welcome. Philip Carl Roberts up in the building, bright and early. Okay. So what we're talking about, what we're looking at, and what we're talking about. Well, we're looking at the headline topic, naturally, Floyd Mayweather fighting on May the 14th in Dubai. We're looking at Gennady Golovkin and what he needs to do to secure the trilogy fight with Canelo. We're looking at, well, okay, you know what? I ain't going to give you all the topics straight away. But we know what we're starting with. There's a secret in there too. Secret article, secret. And anyway, doing a bunch of things. Whole heap of things, crocus bag of things. Okay, but first things first. First thing I got to do is share my shizzle and fertilize the earth. Okay, so let's share this shiznix. Tony Reviews up in the building, driving and listening. Okay, good to have you up in here. First things first, what we're doing there? We're shutting that down. What we're doing here, we need to share this to let the people know. Let the people know what's going on. Okay, So we're going to share it first. Okay, I think I know. Let's do this live. Copy that. Paste. Paste that. Let's have a looky. Let's have a little looky. What else is there? What else is there? Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's paste that. How does that look? Looks good to me. Now let's share. Share that. Boom. Okay. Let's push it out to a couple more places. Some more sharing. Because sharing is caring. Dang. Got my catchphrases on deck. Getting to the stage where I think I could do the intro in my sleep. Let's have a look. Where is this? What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Just seeing something through the corner of my eye, and I think we have to address it. Okay. Where is it? Dang, it's disappeared. OMG. That's horrible. That's horrible. Okay. It's probably for the best. Probably pop up again shortly. Boom. Like that. Okay. Picture that. Stop that. What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay. Let's drop it in there too. Boom. 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 Okay. What we got here? What we got here? What we got here? Okay. That's nice. People are populating nicely. Is there anywhere else I need to push it? Oh, yeah. How rude of me. How rude of me. Let's do this. Last place. Let's share it in the WhatsApp groups. That's a funny one. That is a funny one. Might even start talking. That's funny. That's funny. Uh-oh. Kill the volume. Kill that. Kill that. Okay. Let's start off with a nice little quiz for you. Let's start off with a nice little quiz. Somebody gave me a quiz. I'm going to give you the quiz. It's one question. Let's get your brains. Let's see if your brains are fully operational. Let's see if your brains are fully operational. Okay, so I'm going to give you the, hold on. Let me share it first and we come back to that. Come back to that. Doing it unusual. We're doing it unusual. What? What the hell? What? That's not what I wanted. What's going on? What's going on? Don't tell me the saboteurs. You're trying to sabotage the link. What the hell? What? Let's try again. Let's go. Doing it? No? Don't want to play? Not ready to play? Let's try this next one. Let's try it again. Share. Copy link. Cut that down. Let's try and share one more time. That looks better. That looks better. Boom, boom, boom. Shared in the WhatsApp groups. Okay. While I'm here, let's get this. Let's get the brain teaser. We're going to start off with a brain teaser. We got to start off with a brain teaser. And then I'm going to go. Then I'm going to go into the comment section. We do the roll call. But before the roll call, somebody just sent me this. I responded. Oops, beg your pardon. I responded and I was correct. Let's see if the good people of the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio can deal with this one. Okay, it's a question. It's one question. Just to get your brains in gear. Now, I don't want you to write the answer immediately. I'm going to give you a countdown to get the answer. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to work it out. Do not write the answer in the chat. I will tell you when to write the answer. So everybody's going to write the answer at the same moment in time. So we can't get no cheats. We can't get no cheats. Okay. So remember, this is the question to get everybody in gear. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to give you approximately 15 seconds to come up with the answer in your heads. Do not write the answer in the chat. I'll tell you when to write the answer. Okay, so the question is, and let me cut the music. I don't want any excuses. And here's the question. When I was 6, my sister was half my age. Now I am 70. How old is my sister? I'll repeat it. When I was 6, do not write the answers. When I was 6, my sister was half my age. Now I am 70. How old is my sister? Okay, I'm giving you 15 seconds. Do not write the answer. 15 seconds to ponder it. Do not write the answer. Okay, giving you 5 more seconds to think about it. Now, everybody, write the answer. 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, write the answer in. That's a little brain teaser just to get everybody warmed up, mentally loose. Like a long-necked goose, it's going to take 20 seconds for it to get back to me, but this is just to get everybody loose. This is to get everybody loose. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Only had 3 responses. Okay. Quiz is closed. So there's 3 responses. 67, 67, and 67. There we go. Everybody is thinking correctly. Okay. Hold on. That didn't sound right. Hold on. Excellente. Okay. So what we doing? Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at the roll call. Philip Carl Roberts up in the building. Tony Reviews. Listening and driving. Gone full circle. 360 degrees. OMG. I didn't spot that before. The mathematical theme started early. Didn't even notice it. OMG. OMG. Oh, we're doing. Stop that. Let's share this. I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't need all that FaceTime. What was I trying to do? I've forgotten. What was I trying to do? 360. Okay, 360. We are here. We are live. And the Leon Figures is up in the building. John Daly up in the building. How you doing, John? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do. Copy the link. Paste the link. Boom. Okay. So you got the link now, folks. Where are we? Paul Evans. Dr. Paul Evans. Green Fingers. Mr. Green Fingers. Up in the building. Like Floyd in the cage with Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez, OMG. I haven't talked about his situation yet, have I? Maybe I'll leave that till later on in the show. I don't know if you want to start the show that way. No. What's going on? Fight Doctor up in the building. Dr. Paul Evans jumped on it too. He was correct. Cal L up in the building. 17. Tony Reviews making up excuses for his incorrect answer. It's all good, Tony. Hey, it's all good. Participation medal going out to you, my friend. What's going on? Yes. Salute to the Combat Radio Nation. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit all of the good buttons. Lisa Bales up in the building. Okay. I see a suspicious name in there. I ain't even reading that out. What's going on? Okay. Okay. Let me drop that one. What is that? Yes. Marvelous. Okay. So, how are we going to start this shiznix? I think we're going to... I saw something and then it disappeared. It would have been good to start that way, but how are we going to do this? Okay. So the information, the undercard for hold on. What's this here? Let's get this right. Okay, so the undercard for furyWhyte has been revealed, and it's turned out to be an absolute load of crapola. As suspected. If it was anything good, they would have let us know. Well, ain't nothing good about it. It's pure garbaggio. Okay, what's going on? The Bronze Plumber up in the building. What to have your opinion? What's going on? Good evening. Raphie's floating head. Is it floating? Well, now you can see the body mass. You can see the body mass in this region here. So it ain't really floating. It's connected. Look. The neck, and then the shoulders, and then the torso. It's all up in there, my friend. It's all up in there. Holodeck in effect. Okay, so what we're doing. Okay, so the where is it? The undercard has been revealed, and it is an utter load of tosh. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to pull that up and share it with you. Let's have a little look at. Let's get this. Let's share this on screen. Done a video on it. If you want a thorough breakdown, but we can bring this up for you. Let me enlarge this just a little bit. Okay, there we go. How does it look like on the screen over there? Oh, very faint. Let me bring it up one more time. Okay. Does that look a bit better? Maybe, and maybe not. But in comes, in fact, that looks too big on the screen. Let me just take that down. In comes a man like John D. Lee. John D. Lee, how do you do? How are you on this blustery, breezy, rainy, sunny day in Middle-earth?
April showers, Raph.
April showers. We had them. We had them.
Yeah, some heavy duty ones.
Say that again.
Some heavy duty April showers.
Heavy duty and heavy duty winds. I don't know if you was out there in the wind today.
Yeah, I was. My office is at 5 Ways.
Okay.
On the Hagley Road.
Yeah.
It's a wind tunnel.
Yes. Going around sort of the corners of certain buildings today. It was like as windy as those days we had, when people were falling over. It was crazy out there today. The wind. First of all, there was no wind, and then it'd pick up, then it'd rain, then the sun would come out. It was a crazy, crazy day. 4 seasons in one day. Madness, I tell you.
I did see a beautiful, perfectly formed rainbow though. Our office is on the 14th floor.
Okay.
So I just caught it right as I was looking out the window, and over the city centre there was a perfect rainbow. It didn't last long.
Perfect rainbow.
Yeah. Full semicircle.
Rainbows have been hijacked, but we're taking them back. We're taking back the rainbow. We're taking them back. Okay. What's going on here? Shocking undercard. I won't bother booking a day after that. Absolutely not. The good news is $24.99, so it hasn't gone up to anything preposterous or totally ridiculous. The bad news is that the rainbow. The bad news is the undercard. John Dealey, the undercard is utter tosh. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the undercard.
I've had a look at it. Yeah. There's actually 3 Furies fighting on there, isn't it?
Is there 3 Fury? Oh, you got Isaac Lowe, Tommy Fury.
Huey's on there.
What?
I'm sure they've confirmed today Huey's fighting some guy called, I can't say his name. It's an Eastern European name beginning with a B. I think it's the extra addition to add a bit of excitement and razzmatazz.
Wow. So I'm going to have to Google to see if we can find out some more information on that, because that really, Huey Fury.
I'll fact check it now. Right.
Yeah, I'm having a look. Huey Fury. Huey Fury. Let's see what it comes up with. Derek Chisora has plenty of options. The return of Huey Fury. He needs 3. That was 6 days ago. That's no good. Let me go to BoxRec. See if they got anything on Huey up. Huey Fury. Let's have a look. Huey Fury, Manchester.
Maybe I've made a mistake. I'm sure I saw that today.
Okay, well, it's yet to be confirmed. Don't mean it ain't happening, but it can't.
It is a bit short notice, in all fairness.
Very short notice. It's very short notice. Huey Fury, but let's just persevere. Let's see if we can find something. Huey Fury, next fight. See if it's up there yet. Huey Fury makes sense. No. We got nothing come through yet. So
maybe I was imagining it. Maybe my brain couldn't comprehend the fact that Tommy Fury's still pretending he's a boxer. Maybe that's what it was.
Okay.
What's the name of Tommy's opponent? Maybe that's where I'm confused. Yeah, what's his opponent called?
Okay, let me scroll through this. Tommy Fury will fight Polish veteran Daniel Bakianski.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Daniel.
Still hasn't registered that Tommy is not like a a social media star, and that he's actually pretending to be a boxer.
Still in there. $24.99 is preposterous. Well, preposterous for this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Anthony Joshua's had some pretty poor undercards as well.
I don't remember anything remotely as poor as this.
No. But they haven't got the stable, have they?
They haven't got a
I've
stable.
seen Frank's stable lately, and they definitely ain't got any spare cash knocking around.
They ain't got no stable, and they certainly don't have. Why am I not showing myself to the good people? And they certainly don't have the stable. So why is it $24.99? It should be like $15.99 max. It should be like $15.99 max. And in comes the man like the Iron Kong, our man in the Caribbean. Iron Kong, how do you do today?
It's a bit frustrating because it's a strange mix of really hot and really rainy. So it's a bit frustrating right now, but it's almost evening time, and I hope, the weather levels out a little bit. I stumbled across your conversation. It came in late about my guy Shades of Ali, and that's big. That's Eddie Hearn's biggest loss. That's a future champion.
I'm wrong anyway, Iron Kong. You'll be disappointed to hear that he isn't brightening up the undercard. I've made a mistake.
Of who? Of Frank Warren's thing?
No.
Yeah.
John thought Hughie Fury was fighting. He ain't fighting.
No, Hughie.
It's Tommy.
Yeah,
I can't accept that Tommy's a boxer. That's the problem.
That is true. However, Hughie signed to the biggest promotional company in Britain, Boxer. So, or Hennessy and Sky, whoever. Look here, Shades of Ali. Okay, so I'm here to defend my guy's honor.
Okay. Lee, Hughie Fury not on the card, but fear not. Hughie Fury's not on, but you got Tommy. You got Tommy Fury. And it was only on Monday. Was it Monday? On the Monday show. And I said, I bet you Tommy Fury's going to be on the card. And sure enough, Tommy Fury is on the card. That's how desperate they are. Frank Warren, after all the noise he's made, he's come up with and let me just, for those people who ain't seen the video, as a matter of fact, let's just give him a breakdown for those who ain't seen the video. Okay, so Tommy Fury is going to be fighting Polish veteran Daniel Bokianski.
Get Daniel's record up, Raph. Let's see how many wins Daniel's got.
Let's see how many wins Daniel. Let's Daniel. Oh, this is good. This comes up right there because I searched for it before. So Daniel Bokianski. Let's have a look at him. Let's share my screen. Let's not be selfish about this thing. Daniel Bokianski. Boom. Where is it? Oh, let me resize that. Let me get it up. Boom. There we go. I think that should be visible. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. You can see it there. So Daniel.
So he's a big puncher, Raph.
Daniel Bokianski. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a hell of a knockout guy with a 18.18% KO ratio. Orthodox, 6'3". Or is it 11 bouts? When did his career start? Debut 2014, and 2014 till now, that's 8 years. So he's had 11 fights in 8 years. What's that? Something like 1.4 fights per year.
It's just a massive test for Tommy.
Massive test.
Huge step up in class from some of the bums he has been fighting.
Massive test for Tommy. This guy is pretty much, he was rated inactive. Prior to this fight being announced. Daniel Bokanaski, Iron Kong. Daniel Bokanaski. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to dwell on that. I'm just gonna read out the matchup so thus far. So it's Tommy Fury versus Daniel Bokanaski. Then who else they got? Scrolling through this. What is this? Who else? We got Anthony Kakasi. Let me copy that against Jonathan Romero. Let me just pull that up also. So
it's pronounced Kakachi.
Kakachi.
Yep.
Kakachi. Big boys boxing up in the building. Kakachi. Is that him? Where's he from? Yeah, he's from Belfast, Northern Ireland. You see that up on your screen? Okay. So that's Anthony Kakachi. 20 fights, 19 wins, 1 loss, 7 by KO, knockout ratio of 35%. And he's going to be going up against Jonathan Romero. I know all these names, guys. All these names. You're thinking, damn, how did they manage to put on such a star-studded event?
Look at the knockout ratios as well, Raphie. Excitement is guaranteed.
When did he start his career? 09. So 09 till 22. So that's what? That's 12, 13, something like 13 years. 13 years in the game from Cali, Colombia. Who's he fought? Who's the best name on his resume? He's got a list of no-hopers.
He's fought 2 guys with a winning record, and one of them's only just a winning record. The rest are all losing records.
OMG. So
Frank's put his hand in his pocket for his undercard.
He put his hand in his pocket, but it was the pocket that he cut the hole in. So it goes straight through. That's for pocket billiards. Pocket billiards. Pocket billiards. Isaac Lowe will be facing Liverpool native Nick Ball. Let's get Isaac Lowe up. Damn, we're doing this in real time, folks, in real time. Isaac Lowe, when I'm on a high, when I'm on a low. Where's that? There he is, Isaac Lowe. 21 wins, by 6-5 KO. That takes him to a knockout ratio of 24, 28 years of age. Morecambe, cousin of Tyson Fury. Who's he fighting? Versus, Nick Ball.
Hey, check this out. The Frank Warren's moaning about Dillian Whyte and not participating. The answer to his problems is the last names of those 2 guys on that second fight. Low Ball.
OMG. This let's get rid of that crapola. Let's stop sharing that crapola. That is utter garbage. The Iron Kong. Utter garbage.
Raphie, I missed a lot of that because I was actually here eating a chicken leg. So
chicken leg. Have more respect for ladies. The Iron Kong.
Yeah. All right, Raphie. Sure. Last thing I heard was you nailing the pronunciation of this Kachichis guy. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I heard.
Cactus. Just call him Cactus.
Cactus. What did you say just now? Sorry. Let me catch up.
What was I saying? I was saying how happy are you with this undercard?
Oh, so the undercard of Frank Warren. So it's just funny how Frank Warren spent his time beefing with this Dillian Whyte. I mean, I've been watching Frank Warren's interview, and he's getting more and more and more angry. This fight needs to happen now. Because if they keep interviewing Frank, he might collapse on here holding his chest. So he spends his time beefing with Dillian, but not putting together a competent undercard. You know, I see someone in the chat saying all these fights that were supposed to happen. Let me tell you something, man. Frank could have found better fighters than this to fight on his undercard short notice. This is bad. It's really bad. I'm not here to tell you because I'm not here to tell you Frank Warren has the most robust stable, but he has decent enough. Frank Warren should have enough contacts in the world to try and barter some people to come onto his show, a big show like this, to show off their skills. A lot of fighters take short notice fights or the opportunities to fight on shows of a certain size just so they can get eyeballs on them. I remember Demetrius Andrade asked Eddie Hearn to put him on the Saudi Arabia card with AJ and Ruiz too. Eddie refused, but this is what I'm telling you, a champion saying, you look, I put me on the card. Right? What happened to Callum Johnson? You can't get a fight Callum Johnson? I mean, I don't know what's happening. You know, David Avanesian made some, you know, him and Neil Marsh was talking about, oh, big fight coming. It's going to be a big fight. Thank you to Frank Warren and blah, blah, blah. Only to find out nothing. So they don't have no plans for Avanesian, nothing. Put these people on the card and at least tune-ups, something. You know, but you got the great Isaac Lowe. And, you know, the always tough and flashy Tommy Fury. So that'll sell it, Frank. That's great. You know, John will buy it for sure. And I know Big Boss will buy it. So
John D. Lee.
Well, I just don't understand why Frank doesn't retire. He's so massively out of touch with the modern world. I don't understand why he's publicly slagging off Dillian Whyte before a fight he's trying to sell, where Dillian is one of the attractions.
Exactly.
How does he? Who's he trying to tell this to? Is he giving us an excuse for a poor performance at the box office prior to the fight? Because I don't care. I'm actually going to pay for it anyway. Because I really hope, pray, and I'm thinking with possibly my heart over my head, but I do think Tyson Fury is massively overrated based on what he's done over the last 3 years, that Dillian smashes him. So I'm going to pay just in the hope that he does.
Well, I mean...
But what's the point in going out and slagging Dillian off? How does that promote this event? I don't understand. And then you put on a horrific undercard, and you have got to stay. Why isn't Triple D knocking over a tomato can? At least it's getting some eyes on him. And like Iron Kong said, he has got a stable of fighters. Why aren't they fighting these bums? Is it because he can't afford to pay them, or what? I mean, that is a possibility, isn't it?
You'd have thought if you'd have wanted to, you'd have thought Triple D would have been would have been a great addition to that undercard. Yeah, I know he's got something with Brian coming up, but you know, Don King's doing what Don King does, and he's going to court over the Triple D split. So you'd have thought that Triple D would have had time, but I don't know. I don't know what's his schedule like. I mean, you can't ask him to. I mean, I'm not suggesting that you're asking Triple D to take short notice, but Frank Warren had ample notice.
He's had ages.
So
and look at that that Japanese kid that he knocked out. Frank's put him in with some horrific opponents. That's guy had been knocked out by Triple G.
I have a question though. Was the Trevor Bryant and Daniel Dubois purse bid too close to this fight that maybe they
maybe,
fight?
But then what about Avanesian? Like you said, there's other people.
Yeah.
There's got to be better than Tommy Fury. How far up the card is Tommy?
Damn, well, we don't really know. We don't really know, but
because I mean, he what is he now? Is he a 4-round fighter or a 6-round
hold on,
fighter?
he's supposed to be. I think he's far up there. I think he's far up there. I think he might be just what Isaac Lowe. No, Isaac Lowe is just before the main event. So I guess Tommy would be third from the top of the bill.
Because Hosea Burton's a better boxer than bloody Tommy Fury. At least Hosea Burton, whatever you think about his level, he's actually a proven boxer at least British level.
Yeah.
Huey's not even an area level fighter at this stage. Who was that Welsh kid he struggled with? Who'd got a losing record and
that's
a
right.
4-round fight and he's blown out his ass.
That's right. I remember that one. What's this? Fury versus Wilder 3 had a great undercard on paper, but the bouts were like watching paint dry, but the main event made up for it. I feel when it's over, we will forget how dry the undercard is. I don't think so, I don't think so, Leon. And the reason for that is that this is supposed to be Tyson Fury's homecoming. This is supposed to be the return of the Mac. This is supposed to be the return of the Mac. And for that, you really wanted some kind of extravaganza. It's at Wembley. People are saying Tyson Fury sold out Wembley. Tyson Fury didn't sell out Wembley. Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte sold out Wembley. Who the hell else is Tyson Fury going to sell out Wembley to? Fighting.
If Dillian does clean his clock, Raph, I will be forgetting the undercard. I'll be honest, and I'll probably watch it quite a few times.
What, the undercard?
If Dillian knocks Tyson Fury out clean, yeah, it'll be worth it.
So then that comes back to what I said on Monday. This could be the first time in history we've had a fight of such significance where basically there was no undercard. That's basically what we're saying.
What was the AJ Klitschko undercard like? Because I remember that not being very good.
I didn't have that. I was out on the town. I didn't have that, so I have no idea who the undercard was. I saw that fight in a bar.
Okay.
So effectively, the undercard is so weak, like I alluded to on Monday. Do they even need to bother to have any kind of undercard? If you're going to put on an undercard, might we just as well be honest and say, okay, listen, there's only one fight on this bill. Don't waste people's time. There's one fight on this bill. Just be honest about it. There's only one fight on the bill. Let's be honest about it.
Well, does the venue want to make money out of people spending their cash at the bar and stuff like that? Because you're not going to get enough spend inside the venue if you put on one fight, are you?
Okay, so let's be honest about it then. Let's be honest about it. This undercard is merely there for commercial reasons. And let me
100%.
Let me explain. The hot dog, hold on. The hot dog takings. Yeah? We're looking at the hot dog takings. What else do people eat? Fish and chips. Maybe there's some fish and chips, maybe some big money is to be made on the night of fish and chips at the venue. We're looking at the prawn sandwiches at the bar, the prawn cocktails. So we're looking at advertising. I hope people realize this is time.
Raphie, don't forget the alcohol sales. That's where the real money's going to be made.
The alcohol sales in the venue. We're looking
Gypsy
at
King merchandise.
Excuse me.
Gypsy King merchandise.
Gypsy King merchandise. What's that energy drink?
That one.
The Furiosity. We're looking at the Furiosity sales. What else we're looking at? The local. We're looking at the local economy with the cocaine sales from the street vendors. I hope people.
Is that for Tyson or is that?
That's for Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, the street vendors, selling candy floss and nose candy. We're looking at the money going into the local economy. ERF boxing. Think about dang. As soon as I said it, dropped off. Big Boys Boxing.
And don't forget this this crappy undercard is going to make the main event look really good.
Damn. That's like a pretty girl going out with an ugly girl for a night out.
The thing is, you say that, but if Tyson Fury does a Vladimir Klitschko performance, then no, we are going to be moaning about the card. If he plays tickle with Dillian from a distance and runs away and faints and doesn't throw a meaningful punch for 12 rounds, it's going to be a horror show.
Oh, the Fury fans will call it a masterclass, though.
They can call it what they want. I know they won't watch it again.
No.
Masterclass, ERF boxing. Thinking about we need the undercard for the infrastructure. The street vendors. Think about the street vendors. The money going to the local salesman.
By the looks of it, it's a white collar boxing event with Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte appearing on as the main event.
Yeah,
that undercard is terrible.
Trash.
Isaac Lowe, really? Has Isaac Lowe ever won anything? Has he done anything in his career?
Well, when you go to the fair and they got the 3 coconuts and they give you the ball and you have to knock the 3 coconuts off. I hear you did very well on that in Skegness a couple of years back.
I don't understand it. Like, how? To be honest with you, I'm not even surprised, because as soon as he won the purse bid, like, when has Frank Warren put a good show on before? When has he ever had a stacked show? Even why have you not got Daniel Dubois on there? I know he's got.
That's not fair to Frank. I'm sure he put on both the Eubank Ben fights, didn't he?
Yeah,
he put on the Old Trafford one at least.
John, when was that?
That was about.
I know it's.
I still had a curly perm in them days. What's going on? I had the wet look curly perm. I had to turn my collar up when I let him back on, them doilies on the back of the sofa. So it wasn't so, reduced the flammability.
That's the CD coming to America, Raph. That's the
coming to America.
Yeah.
Dang. I still had the curly perm. I still had to buy the activator.
Nah, I'm not even surprised. Why Daniel Dubois isn't on this card? Why Anthony Yard isn't on this card? Like, if I was Frank, I'd be putting any one of my top fighters with that's European level, fringe world level on this card just to stack it.
I think Dubois would be on the card if Frank won the purse bid for that fight with Trevor Bryan.
No, but all right, but I mean,
the thing is, he's still.
Yard, there's loads of other people could be on there.
Indeed. Yeah.
Why not get Lyndon Arthur back out? Why not offer Lyndon Arthur a fight on there?
Oh yeah.
Why not offer him a fight? Maybe with because Callum Johnson hasn't got a fight. He's not fought for a while. Why not say to Lyndon, we'll give you a fight with Callum Johnson? That would be a good fight for a co-main event.
Yeah.
Why not Johnson Avanesian?
Yeah. Avanesian. Why not have Avanesian?
Why not have Avanesian? The undercard is terrible. I'm not even surprised, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting anything more. They got forced into bidding too much for this fight. And that's what's happened. Instead of paying Dillian what he wanted, they could have had this fight for, 30 million at the most if they'd done a deal with Dillian Whyte, but they refused to offer him a decent package.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It serves them right. This is going to flop. This whole 94,000, they're not going to have 94,000 in there. I could put anything I own on that. They ain't going to be 94,000.
Because a lot of those tickets are gone to ticket touts.
Yep.
They might be selling them. They might be selling them at less than face value on the night.
Anyone who's paying the amount of money I've seen for these tickets, anyone who's paying for that undercard just to watch. Because for some reason, Tyson Fury fans seems to think he's going to go in there and fight Dillian Whyte like he fought Wilder. He's not. He's going to box, and he's going to do what he did against Klitschko. That's literally what he's going to do. He'll be back to that Tyson Fury. He won't be trading with Dillian Whyte.
I don't think so.
Well, how's this? Look, all of you guys are from the UK, except Diane Kong and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys all going to the fight?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Well, there's your answer. Who's buying the tickets then? The scalpers are going down, man.
You know what? You know what?
They're going to be jumping off London Bridge.
I tried to get tickets for Amir Khan versus Kell Brook, and I haven't even. But I've looked at the prices for these tickets, not to get it, just to see, because when I saw it said sold out, I was like, I'll have a look. But I would rather go watch Amir Khan versus Kell Brook out of the prime than we'll watch this fight.
Yeah.
And this undercard.
Well, to be honest though, in my office when the tickets got released, people were trying to buy the tickets, and they couldn't buy them. Whether they all just went to touts or not, I don't. I'm not going to say they didn't. But what I'm going to say,
went to touts.
I'm quite happy to believe that nearly all of them went, because I got an email that I stuck in the WhatsApp group that Raphie's part of, offering me tickets 6 o'clock the same evening it allegedly sold out. But my point I'm actually trying to make is the casuals wanted to buy the tickets, and they never know who's on an undercard anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say that. The reason why it took so long to release this undercard was to try and sell the tickets just on Dillian Whyte versus Fury. Because
but to be honest with you, Eric, even if the undercard was good, none of the casuals that I'm in contact with would know the difference anyway.
Well, no, that's true. That is very true.
I might have bought a ticket in answer to Big Boys Boxing's questions. I might have bought a ticket if the tickets were available at their face value prices. But I went onto the website to investigate tickets, and the news came out. The news came out the tickets had gone almost immediately. And so if that's the case, then they largely went to scalpers. Apparently Tyson Fury was allocated 10,000 tickets, and Dillian Whyte 6. So from the outset, this thing has been rigged. Damn, it's the first time I've said that.
To be honest with you, though,
rigged.
To be honest with you, Raph, I think the AJ fights are as well. It's just the touts have been able to sell them.
Yeah,
I think that happens with most big events in the UK.
It did come out that it was going through a secondary market with AJ. A lot of it was going through a secondary market, but AJ also through the secondary market they got sold.
No, they did, and I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be very cheap, discounted, less than face value tickets available immediately before this fight, because I'm suspicious that the
I genuinely think you could go to the fight without a ticket and get one outside.
Yeah,
I think there's every chance of
that, because you might be able to go for 50 cents
quite easily, because
but
people at that point went on the night, and people touts have got tickets in their hand. They're going to lose out on money. They'd rather get maybe 40, 50 quid for, say, a 150 quid ticket instead of keeping it.
I don't think they'll make a loss, though, because they'll still would have made their profit off the bulk of the tickets.
Oh, yeah, they'd make a loss, but they'd still rather sell it than keep it.
For sure.
Well, once the event's finished, you can't do anything with it, can you?
No, you can't do anything. You might as well get a tenner for it without than getting nothing for it.
Yeah. But I'll be honest with you, there are quite a lot of casuals that will buy in the secondary market for this fight. I speak to a lot of people who are looking forward to it. There is actually, I'm surprised, because I was surprised at how many people believe that not only is it going to be an excellent fight, that Tyson Fury is going to knock out Dillian Whyte very easily. When I'm speaking to casuals, most of them think that that's what's going to happen, on the basis that Dillian Whyte is, that Deontay Wilder was the biggest puncher in history, and Tyson Fury knocked him out. That somehow translates to him knocking out Dillian Whyte. They don't even understand that just because you hit hard doesn't mean you have a good chin.
And the undercard for Joshua Klitschko. Thank you, Philip Carl Roberts. Was I'll pick out the notable ones: Luke Campbell versus Dali Perez, Katie Taylor versus Nina McKinn, whatever. Joe Cody. Oh, okay, forget about that. So at least you got what? At least you got two.
You've got three Olympians. You got three Olympians on that card, and Scott Quigg, and I think Scott Quigg a champion at that time as well.
He could have been.
I'm not sure if he was champion or about to challenge.
I think that's before he fought. I think that's after he fought Frampton.
But either way, three Olympians.
No, was it after?
I think so.
Three Olympians fighting Binman.
Yeah, there's three Olympians fighting Binman. They're fighting Binman, but there's still three Olympians. It's still better than zero Olympians.
It's Darla Perez was a step up fight for Luke Campbell at that time. Katie Taylor had a massive following anyway. So that undercard is not great. It's not great, but they are all names what people know.
Names. Luke Campbell.
They're all names what people know.
Katie Taylor.
Ultimately, what it is they're poor fights with names that Eddie wanted to showcase. Yeah, and that's really what we're saying Frank should be doing.
That's what we're saying.
Exactly what he should be doing.
That's exactly what he should be doing.
Yeah, it is. I'm not saying he has to have 3 world title fights. We're saying he needs to put
names on there.
Who we know.
Yeah,
like I said, Lyndon Arthur. Why not put Lyndon Arthur on there? People know who Lyndon Arthur is now. At this point,
Lyndon Arthur fighting the Binman is still a positive for this card.
But he's got fighters to fight Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah,
I don't understand what. Honestly, well, Frank has everyone who was raving about Frank winning this. He's not. Has he lost 2 purse bids since? He's won this.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Eric. They're just people that hate Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn lives in their minds rent free. It's got nothing to do with it being a good thing. They just wanted to see Eddie lose.
Oh yeah, they did. Definitely did. I don't understand how you can.
So
how Bob and Frank can have a meeting and say this was worth our while at 41 million. I don't understand how you can do it.
So this is
I just don't believe.
This is a bad Joshua card here. This right here is a bad Joshua card. But we got Luke Campbell, we got Katie Taylor, at the very least, on the card. At the very least, and that's what we're saying. That the fish eyes. What I will say, Raphie, is all those Olympians actually have a following, because I've been to maybe 7 or 8 Luke Campbell fights, because I'm from Yorkshire and he's literally down the road from me, and they're always a sellout. So he's got a massive following, Luke Campbell. Yeah, well, he did have. He had a massive following. Katie Taylor has an unbelievable following as well. Yeah. And so did Joe Cordina, because Joe Cordina was meant to be one of the best out of them all. That's correct. That's correct.
So that for the sake of, well, we know Scott Quigg had a good following as well from Barry or wherever. Not Barry. Bury. Is it Bury?
He's from Bury. He walked all the way from Bury to the Manchester Arena when he fought. Yeah. Frampton, didn't he?
But that's my point. These fighters who Eddie put on this card, every single one of them had a following and had a very good following.
Yeah.
So,
but
the
Eddie
tickets
is a
would go.
Promoter, Eric. He understands how to promote. Whatever anybody wants to say about Eddie, he understands how to promote a fighter.
Yeah, he actually promotes a fighter. Yeah. I've not seen Frank promote a fighter for years. He's not promoted a fighter. He might be their promoter, but he doesn't. Actually, tell her that he promoted Daniel Dubois against Joe Joyce, and look what happened.
Yeah. Should have been promoting Joe
He,
Joyce.
he has been trying to promote Anthony Yard as well.
And Anthony Yard against Lyndon Arthur in the first fight. Look what happened.
But what I would say, Eric, is he's actually failed those two guys because they would have had a high profile and done better if they'd been promoted elsewhere.
The Anthony Yard going for a world title, I can't really blame him for that, but the fights before that, if you knew you were going to take that path, the fights before that had to be better names on his record.
Well, better fights as well, because in the UK, the light heavyweight scene's actually popping, even if it was just at British level.
That's what I mean. It needed names so Anthony Yard actually had a decent following and could go. And even the fighters, what Yard was fighting before the Kovalev fight, at British level, those fighters were better. You had British level fighters who was better than those guys who Anthony Yard was fighting.
Yeah.
Well, the British light heavyweight scene should be an incredibly exciting scene, but everybody's protecting their own. It's mental.
This is why I'm really happy with the Buatsi versus Richards, because I think that's a that's a tough fight for Buatsi. Richards has been in there with a lot of good fighters, and he's been at world level, so he knows how to handle himself. He's just coming off a loss to Bivol, a 12-round loss to Bivol.
Yeah,
it was a respectable performance, wasn't it?
Exactly, that's what I mean. So he's been in there. Richards isn't an easy fight, so I'm really happy with that fight for Buatsi. Those are the sort of fights you've got. Uzziah Burton there, who you could easily put Anthony Yard in there with whilst he's waiting for a title shot. Why not put him in there with?
Do you know what? I'm suspicious that they're trying to showcase the Fury family and give them soft touches like they're also big names. I actually think that out of touch. They think Hosea Burton and Tommy are good additions to that card, and that's enough.
Hold on. Hosea Burton isn't on the card, is he?
I thought Hosea Burton was on the card.
No.
Oh, who's the other Fury?
No, there's two Furies. That's just two Furies. There's
Furies and Isaac Lowe.
Fury. Yeah, 2.5 Furies. There's 2.5 Furies.
Yeah.
Tommy, what's his name? Luke.
Oh, goodness.
And
I've been in denial about how bad this card is. I've actually thought Hosea Burton and Huey were the two.
No, they're not even on it.
Family members on there, but it's actually the D grade Furies, isn't it?
It's even worse.
It's worse than that. And new media today in the building says no one in the US is talking about this fight. Maybe the mainstream media will start talking about the fight next week. Well, that's interesting because you got Top Rank. Top Rank is a co-promoter. It's a co-promotion between Top Rank and Queensbury. So you'd have thought that there'd have been some kind of push over there from Bob Arum.
Oh, hold on. Is the fight pay-per-view in America?
No.
No, it won't be.
No.
Because a lot of people have factored American pay-per-view into them recouping the purse.
No, it's not. It's not pay-per-view, I don't think.
No, but how are they going to recoup that purse if it isn't?
I have no idea. If it is pay-per-view, that's a massive mistake.
I don't think it's pay-per-view.
It's a lose-lose situation, Eric. The thing is, I don't believe Fury's getting that percentage. I think he's getting more like 10 million.
I think Fury's getting what's left on his contract, what's left for that deal, what he signed
as well, because there's no way he got paid the numbers for Tom Schwartz and
no, but that's what I mean. He'll be getting paid whatever's left on that contract. Yeah. Fury will have already been paid for this fight. He's already been paid for this fight.
Well,
I think the whole thing is they were trying to pay
Fury in advance. They're not going to pay Fury in advance.
No, I mean, I don't mean that he's got the money in his hand. I mean that will be part of that deal.
Yeah.
It's part of that deal. What he's not going to have is what was it? A 5-fight deal?
5-fight deal.
5-fight deal.
Is this the actual last fight as well?
It is.
Yeah. 2 Wilder fights, Schwartz and Wallin. And then this is the last fight.
This is the last fight. So this is the last fight. You'd have thought they'd been pushing him, or maybe not. What's Tyson Fury going to do? in the next contract. I can't see him. I mean, Bob Arum, who else is he going to go with in America?
Because that's why he's talking about retirement. Because after this fight, he's actually a free agent.
He's a free agent. He's a free agent.
Well, it all depends if he wins, doesn't it? Because if he retains his belt, there are massive fights out there for him.
Yeah.
If he loses, what is there for him if he loses?
He'll definitely retire because he'll consider himself a bum if he loses to Whyte. You know, he keeps saying about these guys, he's a bum himself. If I can't beat him, I might as well retire. So yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did retire if he lost, because what he's put out there is that I don't think there's a rematch clause. Well, there won't be a rematch clause in this anyway, will there? It's a mandatory.
No.
So
yeah, it's a mandatory. And just to clear up any ambiguity, the Raphie actually never had the wet look. Just to be clear,
Raphie's stepping away from the soul glow.
The Raphie never had the wet look.
He's stepping away from that soul glow.
All I did was I washed my hair and then let it dry naturally, and then it had the wet look. I just sprayed on a little bit of oil, little bit of oil, and then rubbed it in, and then I got the wet look for free. Raphie didn't pay for no activator.
I always had Raphie down as more of a sexual chocolate than a
natural activator. You know, just spray on a little bit of. I didn't use the Soul Glow. Just to clarify, Raphie wasn't dripping. Raphie didn't have greasy shoulders. Come on now. You should know the Raphie better than that.
The label doesn't say horny goat weed, does it?
Just going back, Raphie, just going back to what Coach Malachi said about America. There's so much stuff happening right now in America, boxing-wise, that this will go massively under the radar because it was always going to go under the radar. You've got Devin Haney and George Kambosos about to fight. You've got even the Rolly Romero versus Tank. That is more interesting to them than Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. There's so much going on in America boxing wise that they're not really going to care about this fight. And one, there's no American in there. As much as Fury can say, oh, he's American, he's living over there, all he wants, they don't really care about him. None of them actually care. They only care when there's another American involved. The most publicity this has had is that Big Baby Miller's been in the camp. That's the most publicity it's had in America. That's all people were talking about. That Joe Miller's in his camp. Apart from that, nobody cares. It's only the Brits that actually care about this fight because finally Dillian Whyte's getting a shot.
For real. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that a fight of this magnitude, a real fight. But then, look at the undercard. It's messy. There's an argument to say if it's a great fight, people won't remember the undercard. And that could be a real...
Raphie, you say...
Hold on a second. But then when people pay, people are going to be paying for the PPV. People are going to be paying for the tickets, and so I think it is unreasonable to just put on a hodgepodge undercard and think it's okay. It's not okay. And it don't matter if in my opinion, it don't matter if people forget the undercard. It doesn't matter. You got a fight of this magnitude. You're expecting people to pay big money for tickets and big money for pay-per-view. Why is the pay-per-view at £24.99? That's a premium price, but it's not a premium product, is it?
Yeah, I don't. What I don't understand is they spent so much time basically playing Dillian Whyte down, saying, "Oh, he don't deserve this. He doesn't deserve that. He's no good. He's never fought anybody. He got knocked out by a 40-year-old." Tyson Fury can sell without Dillian Whyte, all this lot, everything to play down Dillian Whyte. They've given him no credit whatsoever for anything he's done in his career. But yet Frank Warren has got this massive bee in his bonnet that this guy isn't selling the fight. Why? If he's just a fighter turning up that hasn't done anything in his career, he doesn't have a fan base, he's useless, got knocked out by a 40-year-old, why do you need him to sell the fight? Why do you need somebody like that who's useless to sell the fight? Tyson Fury is this massive attraction. He should be selling the fights himself. I've never seen Joshua not once complain saying, oh, this person ain't selling the fight. We need the ticket sales. We need the pay-per-view. When a Joshua fight's on, everyone knows a Joshua's fight's on.
Well, there was no expectation for Povetkin to sell a fight, was there?
No. There's no expectation for Usyk to sell the fight either. Usyk doesn't speak English. So exactly. Usyk versus Joshua, it wasn't really a massive promotion because Usyk wasn't speaking. Usyk didn't do anything to sell the fight.
I'm not actually sure it did that well, though, Eric.
No, but what I'm saying
compare
is,
the numbers to the Povetkin fight.
No,
I think that did actually sell out. Did that sell out Wembley, or was it the Principality?
Principality Stadium, wasn't it? It was a Principality, wasn't it?
Povetkin was, yeah.
And pay-per-view numbers were good as well. And Povetkin never speaks in English ever. I don't think he can.
You didn't see people complaining, saying, Eddie Hearn complaining, saying, oh, well, it's not selling. This is the same Tyson Fury who said he's not fighting Usyk because he can't sell a fight. He's not English. No one knows who he is.
Let me just say, good point by Yal in saying that you don't hear these other people complain that the other guy's not help selling the fight. Listen, your job is to promote the fight. And this is why I say Bob Arum and people like Frank Warren are not good promoters. Bob Arum might be a good legal guy, might be a good organizational person, but he's an awful promoter.
He's got a good promotional company.
He doesn't promote. The objective is to promote your fighter and promote the fight. Look at what happened with Josh Taylor over there and Ramirez. He brays about how he has ESPN, the biggest mouthpiece in America. And I agree, ESPN is the biggest sports media company in America. However, if you go on an ESPN website and you want to find boxing, you'll go down the entire list of mainstream sports. Then you will click the more button. Then you will scroll down some more till you can find boxing. Then you have a problem where if you watch ESPN, I have ESPN on all day, and you don't see a lot of boxing, right? Bob Arum does not promote boxing. He doesn't promote fighters. He depends on the fighters to sell the fight for him, and that's the same thing that Frank Warren is here saying. So why aren't you selling the fight for me?
Yeah.
Why are you making me do my job? What?
For real.
Yeah.
That's
saying,
good.
oh, did it? He's never turned. He's not turned up for a press conference with. Yeah, but Tyson Fury didn't turn up for a press conference against Klitschko. Exactly. You wasn't complaining. You wasn't crying.
Let me just wrap. What I'm saying here is these guys, and I think John said it earlier, these guys have lost touch with what's going on. They don't know how to promote fights. They don't know what to do. Like Frank Warren is here beefing with Dillian Whyte. Are you stupid? Why are you beefing with somebody that you're trying to? But you see, this all started when this all started when apparently Dillian Whyte refused to. Remember when Dillian Whyte went on his whole tangent? Oh, I'm a free agent. I'm going to America to sign with PBC maybe, and all this blase. Frank Warren wanted to sign Dillian. Dillian Whyte didn't even entertain the guy. Then when Dillian Whyte lost against Povetkin, he started laughing. Oh, it's all over, and all this other BS. So not only did you burn bridges because you never thought in a million years that Dillian Whyte would be back in a position to fight for the WBC belt. So you burn the bridges, turn the man sour against you, and instead of trying to mend the fences, you end up beefing with him, and it's now exposed your lack of promotional ability. I don't know who Frank Warren was in the 80s. I don't know if he was better back then. But no, in the social media age and all and the electronic age, this guy is a joke. This is terrible. He can't promote no fight. Let me ask
But
y'all,
this,
have y'all seen any advertisements for this fight?
no. But
In the
what I
UK.
will say, Kong, is also you can tell they're so out of touch because the reason why Bob and Frank can't stand Eddie is because he's in front of a camera promoting constantly, because he's constantly doing interviews, because he's constantly giving updates. They
Doing his
cannot
job, doing
stand
his
that.
job.
They hate the fact that he's doing that, which makes them look bad for not doing their job. His whole job is to go out there and promote and get your fighter's name in everyone's mouth. Without even seeing them fight, you're supposed to go out there and say, right, this guy is amazing. He's this, he's that. Oh, really? What's his name? Such and such. Right, I'll watch him. That is the whole point of a promoter, to promote their fighter so people can come and watch them no matter what. They don't do that.
So basically, you're saying Eddie Hearn is true to his job description.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And they don't
Eddie's
like that.
always selling. He's always selling.
Exactly that. Eddie did it with John. 1 second. Do you remember when Eddie had Carl Frampton and when Scott Quigg wanted to fight him? Eddie was in the ring going on about how Frampton would wash Quigg. Then later years on, Eddie ended up with Quigg and not Frampton, and he changed his whole tune. But that's his job is to promote whoever's signed with him.
But the other thing is, Eddie will tell you that to your face. He'll say, "It's my job to sell the fight, and that's what I'm going to do."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Raphie, it is a PPV year in the States.
Oh God.
do you think
I'll be
these
surprised
numbers are
if
going to
that
be
does
even more
100,000.
closely guarded than the Tom Schwartz Tyson Fury
Those
pay-per-view
figures
numbers?
will never be released.
Yeah, they're going to be on a PBC roll right now.
The one thing that I would say about Frank and Bob moaning about fighters not promoting, smart fighters do promote. The person who's considered to be the greatest boxer of all time was definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best self-promoters of all time.
I am the greatest. I hit the light switch. I hit the light switch, and I was in bed before the lights went off.
Bob got spoiled by that. What
I'd say about Eddie is Eddie recognizes when a fighter is good at selling themselves and when they're not.
Yeah.
So, like, he signs Derek because he knows he doesn't have to do a lot of work with Derek.
Exactly.
But then when he has to promote, he does. And that's
when a fighter isn't a talker, especially
for him.
Also, he's very good at promoting young fighters who are just coming through. So you can get the name out there. Frank is signing these guys, and no one knows who they are. These last 3 guys on the undercard, I ain't got a clue who they are. The 1-0, 2-0. I'm hearing Eddie talk about.
But Eric, that's because there will have been on. If you remember with Anthony Joshua, one of his first fights was on the undercard of
Prize Fighter
Groves versus Froch at Wembley. He was on the undercard there fighting a nobody because Eddie knows how to promote him and get his name out there. He toured him around the country. He got him to fight over knockover jobs, but he got him out all the time and pushed him.
There's Willie Hutchinson. And Frank got Willie Hutchinson, who lost, who's supposed to be coming back. There's so many fighters Frank could put on this card. But I just think it's all to do with money. He doesn't want to pay these guys. He's gone for the cheapest option.
You can't pay the guys.
He's gone for the cheapest option.
Even though the number, the figure that's been spent, the purse bid, even though I wholeheartedly believe that. Hold on a second. Even though I wholeheartedly believe that that's an inflated figure, it's still. They ain't got the budget for it. They're still overbid at 40 million. I thought the reasonable figure We did a show before the purse bids went in. We did a show. We did a show before the purse bids were in, and I said that I would bid around the 30 million mark. That's what Eddie Hearn bid. It was the realistic figure. When you do the math, I ain't in the back room, I ain't in the office, but I look at the figures, and when you do the math, this was at most a 31 million fight. That's what Eddie bid. And with that, if you bid that, then you can put on a full card. You can put a full card on. But
go on, Con.
I think what he bid was the cost of the fight.
Yeah.
Right? That was the cost of the fight. It's just interesting to me that ESPN, I see somebody saying 500,000. Bro, you don't, again, ain't no boxing on ESPN, bro. You don't see no advertisement for no boxing on ESPN. You don't see none of that, right? And it's like, I'm not sure what's the point. Like all these young guys, because Top Rank pretty much signed the entire Olympic team from the entire Olympic team, even though apparently Keyshawn wanted to stay with Eddie.
Yeah,
right? Because
he wanted his brother with him.
Eddie didn't want his brother, just wanted Keyshawn. But anyway, what I'm saying is like, is that what Frank plans to do? Not Frank, sorry. Bob plans to do with all these young guys who are social media guys, and these guys are used to the, all this stuff. Is that what he plans to do? End up arguing with them about how you need to promote yourself. Frank Warren in the UK, did he get any Olympians?
Frank Warren, Eddie tends to get the Olympians.
Nah, boxers got most of the Olympians.
Yeah.
Boxers got most of the Olympians this time, which I think is really good for them, and that's good for boxing because Ben Shalom's actually doing a really good job with boxer. With these young Olympians, they've come up the right way. Instead of trying to compete with Eddie, where Eddie's at a level where he's brought himself to that level where Ben is now, that's where Eddie started. So he's doing the right things with getting those young fighters, and he's got a few well-known fighters as well in the mix. So to keep the ball rolling. So I think he's doing a really good job there. And I think he'll be a good promoter.
Well, they have also got a massive fight that's going to draw attention in the UK. I don't know how it's going to. I've heard people in my office who were the same casuals I've been talking about, excited for the Fury Dillian Whyte fight, talking about Savannah Marshall's left hook.
Yeah, of course, but that's perfect though for him.
No, I'm saying that I'm agreeing with you, Eric.
Yeah.
They've also got an event. They've got a fight.
They have though, because I don't think they've put. The undercard for Kell Brook versus Khan, I wasn't impressed with, but still, that for someone who's just coming up, I can understand that.
But you're not paying pay-per-view for it either, are you?
That was a pay-per-view.
Sorry, I'm in the weekend. They're putting
not the weekend. I'm on about I'm on about Khan and Brook. The undercard wasn't very good for that.
No,
but it's understandable when he's new. He's also new, so I can sort of let that one slide a little bit because how much people wanted to see Khan and Brook. It was literally all about Khan and Brook. You wanted to see that fight. You could have just put that.
In all fairness, they'd probably spent more than they could hope to afford on that anyway.
Yeah, and also they showcased some good young fighters on there. The fights wasn't very competitive, but it's fighters who they believe is going to be world champions.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
Yeah, those brothers.
Like whoever AJ fought on the Frotch Groves card. It was horrible. It was a horrible mismatch, but it was getting as many eyes on AJ on the undercard as he could do at that stage of his career. People saw him knock someone out.
Okay. So I was reading the chat just there. Okay. So I think this Fury verse. Oh, almost forgot. Frank Warren is saying that he's got someone lined up in case Dillian Whyte pulls out. He's got someone lined up. Who do we
Joe
think?
Miller.
I want to go around. I want to go around the table. I want to go
Joe
around
Miller.
the table, and people can give me who they think it might be. That person. I don't know. Big Boys Boxing. You still here?
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, good. Big Boys Boxing. Frank Warren has said that he's got someone lined up in case Dillian Whyte pulls out. Who do you think that person might be? Give us your best
Daniel
guess.
Dubois to drop out of that Trevor Bryan fight and jump in for a real world title.
Dame. Big Boys Boxing thinks it might be Daniel Dubois. John D. Lee. Who might it be?
I wish it was Gerald Miller because that would just be pure comedy, but I think it'll be Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is the logical opponent. Although I don't know that Tyson would want to fight Joe Joyce on short notice.
I doubt it.
I
That's
don't
exactly
think
why I
anybody
said
should
Daniel
fight him on
Dubois.
short notice. To be honest.
Yeah. I doubt it very much.
I'll tell you who it is.
Yeah.
It's nobody. He's talking absolute rubbish. There's no way he's got any. There is no way on earth he's got any plan B, whatever. If Dillian Whyte doesn't fight, this fight gets cancelled.
Yeah, but Dillian's not going to walk away from this anyway.
No, he's not. He's got nobody anyway. But he can't.
He's no way walking away.
There can't be.
Dillian will get in there injured for this fight. He's not. He's not leaving that money on the table.
No. At Wembley. At Wembley, 94,000 apparently. You're going to have a replacement for Dillian Whyte. Who is available at world level to fight Tyson Fury at Wembley? There's nobody that
can do it because Takam stepped in for Pulev.
Not at Wembley, he didn't.
No, but it was still the principality. It was like it was.
It's also AJ. No, it didn't really matter. Takam stepping in for Pulev was basically
it's a like for like. I mean,
it's a like for like. It didn't really matter.
But
no one knew either of them.
Like
no casual fan knew either of them.
Is there a clear cut? I don't know how much because I'm so biased, and I have to admit it. I'm just so biased against Tyson Fury. I can't stand the man. I don't know how much of a clear cut A side he is in this equation. Because to me, I'd say it's about equal.
I don't. The only reason why he's the A side is because of the title. I believe it's literally.
But you don't have to have a title to be an A side.
I think Dillian Whyte, but also Dillian Whyte has fought better opponents than him in the last 5 years. He really has.
Well, more so, he's sold out. He's sold more tickets in the UK than Tyson Fury.
I was getting to that. That bit. He's fought better fighters in the last few years. It's in boxing. It's one of them things. Tyson Fury was always going to get hyped for beating Deontay Wilder, but people seem to think he beat him the first fight. Why are you so impressed he beat him 2 more times? I don't understand how you could...
The worst one's actually the third fight because
the third fight was terrible.
Than the second fight.
I said this that it only looked like a fight of the year contender because Tyson Fury was terrible in that. Any other fighter, AJ or Dillian Whyte, stops Tyson Fury in that fight, I believe, because he was awful.
Think about it. What was it? 7 rounds, clear-cut demolition, fight 2. Third fight, Tyson goes on the deck twice, and it takes to the 10th or the 11th to get rid of him.
It was terrible, and even when he got rid,
I'm sorry, when he got rid of so many times. Deontay Wilder's been so protected. We've got no idea how good he is.
No, that's
we
why
haven't got a clue. We have not got a clue.
That's why I say.
Besides, what's the 50-year-old called?
Ortiz.
Yeah. Besides Ortiz, the only other top-level fighter he's ever actually beaten is Bermain Stavern the first time.
Yeah,
and
but
that's questionable whether he was
the
top.
thing with Ortiz is the same as Wilder for me, because Ortiz never fought anybody.
No quantity.
His record's actually worse, but he was a top 10 fighter. So
it's literally, for me, Ortiz is like giving AJ that amount of credit for beating Brazil. For beating Dominic Brazil.
But people try and compare him to Povetkin.
But that's my thing.
No,
Brazil
right,
Brazil had a good record, but he was terrible. AJ wiped the floor. He was terrible, and people are going, "Oh, Luis Ortiz, Wilder beat Luis Ortiz." So what?
Well, the real, me and Raphie have done it. We've gone through Ortiz's record in great detail.
Yep.
It's people with losing records. I think he's got a lot of heavyweights on there as well as a whole rake of cruiserweights up until the Bryant Jennings fight. It's horrific. And there's actually something specifically in common that I think is a root cause of it for both Wilder and Ortiz. It's when they were both promoted by Golden Boy.
Yeah, Golden Boy.
It was actually Oscar building up massive hype jobs. Probably because he didn't really understand the heavyweight division. That's my point.
Oscar's terrible for me. Anyway, I think Oscar is just you can tell it's Oscar simply because you only need to look at Canelo to tell it's Oscar, because when he was with Oscar, there were so many stipulations in every one of Canelo's fights, catch weights, rehydration clauses. The moment he leaves Oscar, he actually moves like he's moving now. World champion after world champion after world champion after world champion, constant. No rehydration clauses, no catch weights. I'm going to go up, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to come down, I'm going to beat you. And that's what he's done since he's left Oscar. When he was with Oscar, it was constant. Everything was a mind game with Oscar.
There was always something, wasn't there? Every single time that I'm not comfortable fighting at 160. It's why I'm fighting at 155 pounds.
Exactly.
Against Cotto. And trying to get Triple G to go to 155.
But that's an Oscar move, because Oscar did the same thing to Mayweather.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly
he did the same thing to Mayweather when he was A-side. Oscar did it to everyone when he was A-side.
Well, what I'm saying in regards to who the standing could be, to me, it will be somebody like Mickey Theo. Mickey Theo.
I don't know. I think we might be
running. Mickey Theo, John Fury's been running away from Mickey Theo, and I think that the only honourable thing for Luke to do, if Dillian Whyte pulls out, is to avenge his father's name by fighting Mickey Theo.
There's a fatal flaw in that, Raphie.
Is there?
Yeah, Tyson Fury's got a proven track record in not protecting the elder statesmen in the families.
Oh dear.
He likes to stand behind barriers when it's all going up on the old men.
Oh dear. In the Versace shirt, holding out the healing hand. Saying, no, stop it.
Can I just say?
Yeah. No, what I'll say is in seriousness, if I'm going to be serious, and I think it'll be somebody like Ajit Kabayal.
It wouldn't surprise me, actually.
That Sanchez is a Bob fighter, isn't he?
Yeah,
you wouldn't go in with Sanchez. You'd say, hold on.
Sanchez isn't a puncher, though. They can rub him.
Well, the thing is this. Sanchez is an unknown quantity. He likes to fall back on the ropes and launching with fast shots and those fastball shots. Those fastball shots, they have dropped Tyson Fury. We've seen those fastball shots drop Tyson Fury in the past.
Are you questioning Tyson Fury's chin? This is the man that got up from Deontay Wilder's power, Raphie.
Well, the thing is this. Those fastball hooping, looping shots. Those have been the shots that have dropped Tyson. Typically drop Tyson Fury.
I'm not a believer in Deontay Wilder's power anyway. So going down off a Deontay Wilder shot.
Thank you,
not
John.
Proof that you've got a good chin getting up from it for me.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. Deontay Wilder is an unknown quantity. He's never been in there consistently with the higher echelon fighters. He's done it.
Interestingly,
He's done it occasionally, but he has not done it consistently. So
he's done it 3 times, Raphie.
He's done
No,
it three
but-
times.
three
He's done it
times,
three
that's it.
times. He's done it three times in a
fights.
10-year or 12-year career, however
Yeah,
long it's been. And it's been outrageous.
Interestingly, out of those 3 fights, he's only won 1 by knockout, and that was Luis Ortiz.
No, I said he's done it 3 times. He's fought Tyson
Yeah,
Fury
I
3
know,
times.
he's
That's
only
it.
won 1 by knockout, Eric.
No, he hasn't won any. I'm talking about just Tyson Fury. He's been in there with 3 times with
Well,
world level. And
you've
that's
got
Tyson.
to say Bermain Stavern.
Nah, Stavern, yeah. You know
You've
what?
got
That's
to
the
say
only time.
Stavern.
That is the only time
Well,
I actually was
if you
impressed
go
with
off
Wilder.
rankings,
Hold on a
The
second.
first fight.
Hold on a
If you-
second. No, he didn't knock him out in the first fight.
No,
That's
no,
my
the
point.
first fight. He didn't.
That's my point,
No.
Raph. That's my point about Wilder's power. Every time he steps up, he actually doesn't knock him out, except for Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, he knocked Luis Ortiz out 2 times. Well, who's his
No,
top
the
three?
first time's the only one you can call him a top 10 fighter. You cannot call.
Yeah, you can't call it the second
No.
time. No,
And
No.
it's the same with Stavern. So if you
Yeah.
go off those 3 opponents,
Yeah.
Fury, Stavern, and Ortiz, he's only knocked out Ortiz.
The funny thing is when I first saw Wilder, which I think was the Bermain Stavern fight, and he actually boxed.
Yeah,
he actually
showed a
boxed
jab,
that fight.
didn't
He showed a jab. He showed patience. He was very good in that fight. I actually was impressed with him in that fight. Since
fight?
that fight,
Which
the
fight?
Stavern first fight,
Yeah.
first fight.
Yeah, it surprised
Since
me.
that fight, he's not boxed a day in his life since.
Mm.
He relied on his power so much, because after that fight, he then went on to knock whoever out, and then he just relied on that one punch every single time.
The thing you have to question as well, though, is you've just won a world title after going 12 rounds.
Mm.
What makes you so makes you so confident in your power when you couldn't
No,
actually knock somebody
it was,
out? So
John,
he must have been confident that of 2 things: that they weren't going to put him in with a puncher, and that the opponents he was going to fight were knockover jobs.
You know exactly what I was about to say.
Over time, I think he started to buy into it.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did, because the first time he stepped up at world level, he didn't go for the knockout. He actually boxed, because he was petrified of leaving himself open to get caught by a world to get caught by a world level fighter.
Well,
and when he did, that's a bit. But yeah, so he was, because he was going in wild like he normally does in his previous fights till the world title. The world title, he was disciplined for every single round.
Yeah, but
he
Eric,
was very disciplined.
You know who he fought immediately before he fought Stavern, don't you?
Who did you fight?
Jason Gavin.
Yeah, Jason Gavin, who Joshua
Gavin
fought in his 5th.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight.
And AJ knocked him out quicker as well.
Yeah.
And after the Stavern fight, the first Stavern fight I'm talking about, after the Stavern fight, let me bring it up so people can say. After the first Stavern fight, he went on to fight Eric Molina, who he KO'd in the 9th round. And then after that, it was...
After getting wobbled quite badly.
After getting wobbled himself. I did a video of that. It's in the archives. Go check in the Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio archives. I did a video on that.
Raphie, if you before you carry on, if you go before the Stavern fight, you look at all his knockouts, they're all before the 4th round, I think. I don't think he goes past the 4th round.
Jason Gavin, 4 rounds.
I don't think he goes past the 4th round.
Malik Scott, 1 round. Nikolai Further, round 4.
All his fights, he's not gone past 4. As soon as he steps up, he starts going past the 4. And that's when he started, look, if Stavern won 12 rounds, then he goes to Duopas. Is that who he fought next?
Molina.
Molina, 9 rounds.
Yeah.
Duopas, 11 rounds. You can tell the level that
Duhaupas was stopped on his feet as well. He never actually rocked him.
But this is the thing: you could literally tell that he'd actually stepped up to a better level because of how much he would these fighters how far they were going.
Though Eric is not good.
No, that's my point. That's literally my point.
How many rounds did it take him to get rid of Spilka?
11. 9 rounds.
9 rounds.
Have you seen the Brian Jennings knockout of Spilker before he fought Wilder? Brian Jennings isn't a puncher.
No, he isn't.
But that's my thing. You could tell he'd stepped up a level, but none of these guys are any good. None of these guys who he fight, Eric Molina,
That's my whole.
Spilker,
That's always what I've maintained about.
All of them are taking him rounds, and it all show. And I guarantee you, in 90% of those fights, he was losing before he knocked him out. He wasn't doing anything.
Just that, Eric. My point is, it shows to me that his power's always been overhyped.
Yeah.
Well, look.
He knocks him out late when they're tired.
That's why I brought this up. Because Stavern, the first fight, you have to give him that as a top 10. Then he fights Eric Molina.
But you give it as a top 10, Raphie. But you've got to point out it's a 12-round decision. So the power again is questionable.
12. He goes to the full distance. Eric Molina knocks him out in 9. Johan Duapas knocks him out in the 11th round. It's not really a knockout. It was whatever. It's a stop.
TKO on his feet.
TKO.
Yeah,
Artur Spilker goes 9 rounds. Chris
So
Arreola.
I don't think Arthur Spilker went that far with Brian Jennings either.
No. Chris Arreola goes 8 rounds.
After quitting. Quits after 8 rounds.
Yeah. Gerald Washington. How the hell is Gerald Washington on the list?
He was terrible anyway.
How the hell is Gerald Washington on the list? But he is.
No idea.
I mean, he would be acceptable in the section before he fights Stavern.
Yes.
He's a backward step.
Yeah. A backward step, clear backward step, and then even a further backward step is when he fights Bermain Stavern for the second time. Remember,
had Stavern had a fight in between those two fights as well?
Bermain had one fight. We had one fight in between.
Did he have one?
Fights. Yeah, he had one. He had one in between those fights.
But what is it? A 2-year gap?
It was something like that. Bermain Stavern.
He lost. Did he lose? Oh no, he won. No, he won.
No, he fought Deontay Wilder that time, and then hold on, the second time. No, hold on. Yeah, he had one fight in between. That's Derek Rossi.
Derek Rossi is enough to get you a world title.
That was 10
fight.
That went the full distance. Derek Rossi. And then he fights Deontay Wilder off the back of that when he'd been out of the ring for pretty much damn near 2 years. What's the date on that? 2015. Yeah, 2 years. Only one fight in between. And that was terrible.
That is exactly 2 years he was out of the ring, Raphie. Exactly 2 years he was out of the ring.
2 years. So we're looking at the caliber. I don't know how we took a tangent onto
the real point about this, Raph, is Tyson Fury. If you actually look at what he's done since he came back, what was it? 2018. He came back in the ring.
Yeah. No, 18. 18. Yeah.
It might have been December, whatever it was. Anyway, maybe.
When he fully came back. Yeah. When he fully came back.
He was 28. He was 2018.
No, but he came back before that.
Yeah,
Fury
so Francis Pianetta and
Pianetta and the
Silver Surfer. Those two fights.
Yeah.
He's fought those two guys. He's got a draw against Wilder, who we've just shown we've got no idea how good Wilder actually was. Then he's fought Tom Schwartz, struggled with Otto Wallin, and fought Wilder twice. And everybody thinks he's as good as Ali. Like in the casuals in the UK, I'm on about.
That's true. Madness.
And it's like, well, I'm based on what? What? He hasn't actually done anything. And in his last fight, as we've just pointed out, he performed worse against the same opponent who he'd just beaten than the previous fight. So why is Tyson Fury such a massive favourite against a guy who's fought a significant number of the top 10 over the last 3 or 4 years?
Terrible.
Because you've got I'll tell you why. It's simply because Whyte got knocked out by an old Povetkin. So but now that makes it. But 1 second. That makes him chinny. Wilder Fury's just knocked out Deontay Wilder twice in a row. So when you're looking at it, the bookies are looking at it, and people are looking at. He just knocked out the biggest puncher in boxing, apparently. Anyway. And then Whyte has just been knocked out by Povetkin, even though he's revenged that loss. It's always people's always going to look at it in the way that Oh,
I
Fury's
understand what
so
you're
much
saying,
better.
Eric,
But
but surely, if you understand boxing and you look at the actual punch that Povetkin delivered,
it knocks
the
out
only
90%
criticism I
of
can
people.
give against Dillian Whyte is how square he was and how he got caught. But
Yeah,
that
but also-
punch in itself takes most heavyweights out, if not all. The delivery was absolutely exquisite.
Also, Dillian Whyte wasn't expecting anything back because Povetkin didn't do anything for near 9 rounds.
If anything, the other thing Dillian did do wrong was not finish the fight quicker
Not
because he
finishing
had
it,
him all over the place.
Okay, and that is true. And in comes the man well, I'll let him introduce himself.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always.
You got some exploding mushrooms in the background, Fight Doctor?
Top shelf, only top shelf.
Them
No,
Raphie, top shelf.
It's
But
the
mushrooms are exploding.
It's the Tandy Amp, Raph.
Dime. Okay, Fight Doctor, how you do? Good to have you up in here.
Yes, Fight Doctor. What's happening?
How you doing, gentlemen?
Now,
listen, I just wanted to tell you guys how much I appreciate the conversation, how much you guys love to pay Deontay Wilder so much attention. So please, I did not mean to interrupt the conversation.
Have you come to defend your guy? You come to defend your guy.
I have not come to defend anyone. I've just come to express my appreciation. How much you guys love to give Deontay Wilder so much airtime and attention and appreciation.
Which is the Fight Doctor's guy anyway? Is it Wilder or Fury? I thought.
It's Fury now. It was Wilder. It's now Fury.
Used to be Wilder. Who's it
now? It's a bit of a love triangle, I think.
It's a love triangle. It's a menage a trois.
It's not. Now Wilder's been kicked out of the bedroom. It's just Fight Doctor and Fury.
Hey, it's an entanglement.
Sir, that is worthy of a slap.
It's an entanglement.
I like that one.
Wait,
Fury will come and slap you for Fight Doctor.
We ain't talking about no more anyway. We ain't talking about that no more. We ain't talking about no menage a trois or entanglements. And
I have got a question for the Fight Doctor though.
We ain't talking about twerking either.
For the Fight Doctor, are you paying the pay-per-view price for Fury versus Whyte, Fight Doctor?
I don't plan to. Good fight, but not pay-per-view worthy. Especially if coming on at it'll be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
What's the cost of that for you as well?
Now that I'm unsure. I want to say I thought I heard $50. $50 US. I'm not sure though exactly.
Wow.
But I mean, if it's 20, 25, maybe 30, okay. I might be tempted to go ahead and just spend the money. But
yeah,
if it's like $50-$60, then yeah, I'll find some other alternative.
So will you go and watch it in a bar, Fight Doctor, or you just stream it, or what would you do?
Probably stream it, but
okay.
I mean, there are a few bars here where I live that like to show certain fights where they have pretty nice venues. So it just all depends on, what the weather's like. There's one venue in particular that has an outdoor screen and a huge projector. So I might be tempted to just go and watch it there.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, it wouldn't surprise me after this fight if it comes out that it's one of the biggest streamed fights.
Yeah.
Illegally streamed fights.
Illegally streamed. So
I think the pay-per-view numbers are
BFTB.
Good,
so BFTB, my buddy BFTB over there in America. So then we should include those illegal streaming numbers. Those should be included in the calculation. You can't leave them out. Illegal streams count out here in these YouTube streams.
Raphie,
Fight Doctor, do the illegal streams count?
They should. Okay, they should. They should figure into the whole equation. I agree. When calculating a fighter's popularity, we should factor into the equation how many illegal streams did this particular fighter generate. So yes,
you know what? You know what?
Are you-
I don't actually. 1 second, John. I don't actually disagree with counting the illegal streams, but it also tells you your worth, that people aren't willing to spend the money to watch you. They might want to watch you, but they're not willing to spend the money. So I'm not actually I'm not against counting the illegal streams. I don't think it's a bad idea, to be honest with you.
Hold on a minute.
Hold on. Finish your point and then John.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but it also shows where how intrigued people are, because they want to watch you, but they're not willing to pay. So it tells you that it's not worthy, that either the event is not worthy or the fight isn't worthy of paying the amount of money what you're asking them to pay.
Eric, do you get paid on how popular you are?
Oh, no.
How much cash you generate?
How much cash you generate?
So that's why I don't think you can count.
No,
because
I know what you're saying, John, and it's still, you're not going to get more money for the illegal streams. What I'm saying is,
if you're going to count it into, so that I mean, going back to the BFTB argument, the whole reason he was trying to include them was a justification for Wilder getting 50-50 of the purse.
Well, no, that's my point. I'm not saying that it should equate to anything
so what's
like
the
that.
point of actually including them? Because
the point in including them is to tell the fighter you're actually not worth what you think you're worth. People are trying to steal your
you'd
fights.
include them as a minus.
Yeah, the people are trying to steal your fights instead of paying to watch you. That's what they're trying to do. We've got, right, these are many illegal streams. These are the amount of people that don't want to pay to watch you.
So you need a reduction in your purse on the basis of it.
I'm not saying reduction, but what I'm saying is it should go on. It should basically tell your matchmakers, tell you as a fighter, wow, I've got this many people illegal streaming this fight. Why don't they want to watch this fight? Why don't they want to pay for this fight? Why don't they want to pay for this event?
Okay,
what's the reason? What's the reason they're not willing to pay?
It's kind of groundbreaking in a sense, this thing, because Fight Doctor said it, BFTB said it, we laughed. Fight Doctor said it and we chuckled. Now Eric said it and we're going, okay. So what do I think? I think actually that you can have a subdivision. You can say this is the amount of people who are prepared to pay to watch you fight, and this is the amount of people who are semi-interested in you, but you ain't moving right. You ain't moving right. If you were moving a little bit different, then we would pay. Yeah. So we are interested in you to an extent, but we're not interested enough in you to
put money in your pocket. To put money in your pocket, but basically.
However, we are aware of you. If you were moving differently, we might pay you.
Okay.
We might pay you. So how this works with somebody like, well, I don't want to go back to Deontay Wilder, but I only touch on it for a second. So in the case of a Deontay Wilder, if he were fighting legitimate opponents consistently, then those illegal streams suggest that you would have people who are prepared to pay to watch him fight. But because of the way he was moved, those people refuse to pay to watch him fight. So we could have a subdivision. As crazy as it sounds, yes, the legitimate, these are the people who are prepared to watch you fight, to pay to watch you fight. And this bigger group is a list of people or number of people who are aware of you, who could potentially, might potentially have paid to watch you fight because of the way you were moved, because of some element, some aspect of you, the way you were moved. This bigger group is the list of people, is the amount of people who aren't prepared to pay for you, even though they are aware of you.
But really what you're saying is the illegal streams are a barometer.
Yes.
How you're not being promoted correctly.
Yes.
Well,
because it's an indication that something's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also an indication of what people are willing to pay and what they're not, because you could also say, right, we've got the 800,000 people who has illegally streamed this, but we've also got 200,000 buys. So if we'd actually put this, no, one second, if we'd actually put this on normal TV and not pay-per-view, you'd have 1 million people actually on the barometer when you go, well, what do you generate? No, well, my last showing on.
Eric, that is the point, because you're not being moved correctly. You're not being promoted in the right fashion.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that it also shows them like, actually, we might be better off putting him on normal TV, normal Showtime instead of Showtime pay-per-view, because we might actually be able to recoup more money on viewership, just on normal viewership.
If we are going to do Wilder, though, he was on normal viewership. And this happened when people had to start paying for him. And I think there was a fundamental flaw completely with the PBC, because they were marketed as free.
I will say this: it's promotion. Not just Wilder. It was basically it's PBC as a whole, and every fight for them needs to be a pay-per-view fight at the moment. Even though when they, like you said,
look at it, Eric, when they came out. They were marketed as a free-to-air channel.
Free-to-air, The
and
first
then as soon as they
boxing.
tried to do pay-per-views, the people they appealed to didn't put their hand in the pocket.
Okay.
So what they actually did was try and appeal to people who don't buy pay-per-views.
Okay. And at that juncture, we have our man in America, Fight Doctor, the PBC, that came out as a free-to-air thing. And then they changed their model to a pay-per-view thing, the diametric opposite of what they came out. What the hell happened there? What the hell happened there? Come on now, talk to me.
Well, so boxing is a business, and like any other business, the whole point of it is to make money. So if your product, after you sold your product, and your bottom line is preceded by a negative, if it's in the red instead of the black, well, then there's a problem. And if you're going to stay in business, then you need to adjust your business model where, that negative, that red goes away. So now they've made that adjustment to pay-per-view, which honestly, I think is a good thing. Because now, and reason being is because now the market will drive the industry the proper way. The more that they rely on pay-per-view, the more the market will drive the industry. So if there is a demand for the product that PBC has been selling us so far, then that will be reflected in the amount of pay-per-views that they sell. As opposed to there's no demand, then whatever product that they're selling, they'll have to make a modification. So I suspect I'm gonna close. I suspect that what's going to happen is people are going to get tired of the same nonsense that the PBC is trying to sell us, and eventually they will turn off the pay-per-view money, and PBC will have to sell us a better product.
Well, you see, check this out. Then I'll say what I'm saying. Then I'll let you respond. Then we go to Eric. You see, are you familiar with the term a loss leader?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the problems I see with the PBC, I don't know how we ended up talking about the PBC, but hey, that's what happens in conversations. You take tangents sometimes. Maybe it's not even the tangents. Maybe it's quite pertinent. One of the problems with the PPV, if you insist, okay, you got the simplest way I can put it, you got two shops. They're on the same high street, opposite each other. They sell the same products. The only difference is that on the one shop, they always selling it at a kind of higher end price. The shop opposite that sells the same products, they have loss leaders. So they have items for 99p. Some items for 99p. Over here in the UK and the States, it would be 99 cents. Those loss leaders get more people. The difference with the store is that the store with the loss leaders, the store who use the loss leaders, they have a few items for 99 pence, 99 cents. They will have a greater foot traffic than the store across the road who's always doing things at a more higher end price. And so one of the problems with the BBC that Raphie sees is that they're always insisting on the higher end price. They're not using the analytics. They're not looking at the analytics and saying, okay, this guy is popular in illegal streams, but he ain't popular in legal streams. Let's put him out there for free and get more people walking into the shop. Fight Doctor, and then Eric, and then John.
Well, I mean, I think that, and I agree with you. I think ultimately it comes down to, what people will pay for. And, people will buy the fights that they feel are worth the money. And, at the end of the day, the industry is driven by the casual fan. And they have a completely different outlook than how we see things, because apparently they're willing to pay for fights that we refuse to pay for, most of us, So as long as the casuals are willing to pay for substandard product, then that is what they will offer to us. And look, prime example, right? I live in Chicago. Chicago is the third largest market in the United States. And we have the oldest football team in the NFL, Chicago Bears. And for years and years and years, Chicago Bears have been among the most crappy of the crappiest football teams. But you try to get a ticket to Soldier Field where they play, and the tickets are expensive and hard to come by. Reason being is that, in my personal philosophy, my personal thoughts are, the reason why the owners of the Chicago Bears insist on fielding crappy football teams every year is because Chicago Bears fans are willing to pay to watch these crappy football teams, because Soldier Field is sold out every year and the tickets are not cheap. The minute that changes, the minute that the football fans say, no, we're not going to pay for any more crappy Chicago Bears football teams, we're going to stay home, keep our money in our pocket. In fact, we're not even going to watch you on TV anymore. That's when the situation will change. And I think once the casuals wake up and stop paying for substandard for a bad product, then we'll start getting the pay-per-views. We'll start getting the fights that we're supposed to get on pay-per-view.
ERF boxing.
Yeah, well, what I'll say is, I don't disagree with any of what both of you said. Is everything doesn't have to be pay-per-view. This like Raphie said. If you go into, it's literally like PBC. Like I said, there's two shops, same sort of products, but one's charging you to come in, and the other one's free to walk in.
Yeah, basically.
And so it just goes to show, like, Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin. Why is that a pay-per-view? I know it's at a cut price of $40, but why is it a pay-per-view? Both these guys are not household names. No one really knows them. People only know them because of the people they've lost to.
Yeah.
You cannot be on pay-per-view. Those two guys together can't be on pay-per-view. It's not going to generate the money what you need from fans. And even illegal streams of that, I don't think people even cared enough to illegally stream that.
For real.
Everything cannot be pay-per-view. The more product you put out there for us to see for free, when you do put a pay-per-view on that's of worth, people will then go and buy it. If you put every fight a fighter has doesn't need to be on pay-per-view. Gervonta Davis, great, good fighter. I actually like him as a fighter, but he doesn't need to be on pay-per-view every time he goes out there with the opponents he's been fighting. It doesn't need to be pay-per-view. So it's one of those things where if you keep putting people on pay-per-view every time they go out there, the more people are going to look for illegal streams. Like, I'm not paying that $80. He gets out there twice a year, I'm paying $160 to watch this guy fight twice, where I can illegally stream it and get it for free. He's not fighting for a world title. He's not fighting for anything of worthy. He's not even fighting anyone I know. Aesop Cruz, no one knew who he was. Why am I paying pay-per-view so you could fight someone I don't know? There's no backstory. There's no Rolly Romero. People, only boxing fans know who he is. A casual fan does not know who Rolly Romero is.
That's true.
So why are you being charged a pay-per-view price to watch that? But then you go to the next street, and you've got Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez, a unification fight. The two best fighters in that division for free.
So one business is very sustainable. The other business is it's heading one way. It's heading one way. It's to rack and ruin. How long can it last?
This is what I'll say. This is the last thing I'll say on it. This is why Bob Arum he's not a great fighter promoter, but his promotional business is very good because he knows what fights are worth a pay-per-view, and he knows what fights aren't not even worth a pay-per-view. But there's some good fights where you think Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson, I'd happily pay a pay-per-view price for that. Because I think that's the best two fighters in the division. Yeah. That's number one and number two fighting each other. I have no issue. But he's willing to give you it for free. He's willing to give you that one for free. There's sometimes where you need to be like, you know what, it's a good fight. Let's just throw him that, because the next time we put Shakur out there, we will be putting him on pay-per-view.
That's a sustainable business. Sustainable versus unsustainable. John D. Lee.
Well, the whole art of promotion is lost in America, because if you go back to when the 90s, it was only the big fights that were on pay-per-view. And what that does is it gives eyes on people as you build them, you create them into a name, you become aware of them, you become aware of their rivals, you get excited for the fight. So then it becomes ripe to put on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Lost leaders. But
it isn't necessarily a lost leader.
But it's not even making a loss. It's still making money. The size of the purse on those build-up fights are not astronomical. So the advertising, the TV rights money, all of that should cover their purses because you're building the fighter up. So it's not their toughest opponent as well. It's not even a lost leader.
You're profiling the fighters.
It's a freebie. You're getting tossed freebies.
Now, if you look at what the PBC were doing, their fighters were so inactive that you could never build up any buzz about their fighters anyway. And then they've consistently not made entertaining fights. So not only have their fighters been fighting once a year, so they get forgotten. It's like, who's this guy? I haven't seen him do anything for a year. I've forgotten about him because he was never famous in the first place. And then they're fighting nobodies anyway. And to top it off, you targeted a group of people that your big sell to that group of people was, this is a free product. And then when they've moved it to a pay-per-view based product, they've not lowered the price point. They've not marketed the individuals to build up the pay-per-view fights. They've carried on the one fight a year fighting bums. But the opposite situation, so Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora. People paid for that fight, didn't they? Wasn't that a pay-per-view?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's because Derek Chisora is a household name and drives numbers
Eric,
anyway.
That's the point, though. You can be a loser who sells by the way that you're promoted, because we all know, and I'll buy Derek's fights, we all know whether he's going to win or lose. He's going to give his all, and that sells to the British public. So it might be something else that would sell to the American public, but they're not capitalizing on that and doing anything with it, and they're not building rivalries like the Khan Brook fight, okay, it took too long to happen, but it happened. We never got AJ versus Wilder, and we probably never will. There's a high chance we're never going to get Spence versus Crawford, so they're not giving us rivalries that actually anybody believes are ever going to fight either.
You got to build a product. You got to build.
And
a
then
product.
the last point I think is down there. The American pay-per-view point is too high. It's just too high. You can't be asking people to be doing what Eric pointed out, paying $160 to watch someone fight twice a year. Because what will happen is nobody knows who they are because they're not spending the money.
Nobody knows who they are. They're not spending the money. They're not fighting enough once a year, once every other year. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. You got to keep those people in the shop window. You're running a business. You got to keep them promoted. You got to keep them out there. You got to have them on the screen when they're fighting. They've got to promote themselves on their social medias. You got to have those 99p products, 99-cent products. You got to push it out there for 99 cents. You got to have people, same way you got the 99 pence burger, the 99-cent burger, get you into the joint. Then you get a milkshake. Then you get a milkshake with it. Then you get some fries with it. You might want a little piece of apple pie. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get people in the door. Get people in the door.
When they built Mike Tyson up, he was fighting once a month.
Yeah.
He was fighting bums, but he was out there all the time.
Bum of the month program, but he was out there. 99
He's
cents.
out there. Exactly. You had your cheap ones, so when they were ready to go, Mike was a household name.
Also, with the fight,
Mike's fame was astronomical.
With the fighters, what the PBC have got, the PBC, they're not giving you a plan of where these fighters are going. Like what's happening with Davis after this fight? You know what I mean? There needs to be, right, he gets through this fight, this is what's next for him. He gets through this fight, gets through this fight, this is where we're going to go with it. And this is what we get consistently from Eddie Hearn when he tells you this, he's in this fight, he wins this fight, we're more than likely going to go here with him. This fight means if he doesn't win this fight, he doesn't go here, he might have to go backwards. It sort of gives you a story of,
you need a storyline.
Yeah, it sort of gives you something to look forward to. On he's not just winning, he's not fighting this fight and then we don't know what's happening for 5 months. With this guy, he's won, nobody knows. He's won, everybody's buzzing on the night. For 5 months, we don't know about him. Then you roll him back out 6 months later. Oh, by the way, he's fighting this guy. Who's this guy? What's it for? How does it help his career?
Where's the storyline?
There's no storyline. There's zero. There's nothing. There's no promotion. And the problem with PBC is they don't have a voice of a someone to do that for them. Really, they had Sam Watson who was thinking, but Al Heyman's the guy, but you don't see him, you don't hear him. The only person you really hear from that side is Floyd, and everyone's sick and tired of hearing about Floyd.
You hear from Leonard Ellaby as well.
You hear from Leonard, yeah, but Leonard's just a delusional idiot.
I'm being facetious, Eric.
You know what I mean? You don't hear from a promoter on the PBC side to say, this is the plan for these fighters. This fighter's going to go here. He wins this fight. Like Earl Spence. If we heard, obviously we won the Crawford fight. We had to hear from Earl Spence's mouth say, oh, well, Al wants me to fight Sean Porter. Then if I beat Porter, I'm going to fight Garcia or Thurman or whatever. We had to hear it from the fighter's mouth. There's no promoter saying, right, don't expect the Crawford fight for at least another 2 years, because the plan is he's going to fight this fight, win this belt, he's going to fight this fight, go for a unification, and then hopefully, if Crawford's still undefeated, we're going to go there. This is the route we want to take. You might not like it, but this is the route I want to take. We're taking.
Didn't AJ spell that out on the road to potentially trying to fight Wilder?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You don't have it on the PBC side, not just the flash on PBC. You don't even have it on Frank Warren's side to say you don't. this is the path I'm going to take. The Daniel Dubois, we didn't know where he was going. After he beat after he lost to Joe Joyce, we didn't know what was happening. Somehow he's got a rank to go fight for a
when have we ever known where Anthony Yard is going?
We don't know. One minute he's fighting a European level guy, and the next minute he's thrusted into a world title fight. Joe Joyce, the biggest win of his career, really, in the Daniel Dubois fight, because it was the biggest promoted fight. We don't know what's happening with him at all. Daniel Dubois is back getting promoted better than him. We have no idea what's happening.
Because Frank's still sulking that Joe beat him, so he's punishing him.
It's actually crazy. These fighters are being put on the shelf. They've got no plan, and I don't think these fighters really know any more than we do on what's happening with them.
I think Joe Joyce needs to be held for account because he actually extended his contract with Frank. So
yeah, well, he's got Sam Jones, hasn't he?
For him because Frank verbally abused you in the promotion.
The thing is, I don't know why he left
him, and then
he left Sam Jones and stayed to stay with Frank when Sam Jones was the one who actually got him where he got him, because Sam Jones was his mouthpiece.
No, Sam Jones retired, didn't he? Because Sam Jones got a bigger job.
Yeah, he's got a different job.
So Sam Jones retired. So
but Sam Jones is with Probellum, right?
Yeah.
Why not say to Sam, if you go in Probellum, get me on Probellum?
Well, he can't, can he? Because he signed with Frank when he was still with Sam Jones. Yeah. It's questionable why
he shouldn't have said. Like, look at how Frank treated him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ginger Stepchild would be a kind description of how Frank treated him. And now he's done nothing with him. He's not done anything with him after that massive win.
All he's done is tried to get him an AJ fight
as well.
He's tried. Well, I say he tried to get him an AJ fight. He spoke about it in the media, in interviews.
But then he ruled out the most sensible thing. Like, that fight is huge in Nigeria, and the number of billionaires that are in Nigeria that could just foot the bill. That fight is massive, and the party would be too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also, if Frank's involved, it's not going to be anything. So,
yeah. So Frank Warren falls into a similar category as the pay base saying, I'm talking to the fight doctor. So, fight doctor, Raphie's just lined out what the pay base say should be doing. They need a 99p range to get people in through the front door. Fight doctor.
Well, I mean,
I was exploding mushrooms.
I think that the PBC had the right idea in the beginning when, it was all free TV and Showtime. I think that they should probably go back to that model. I think properly promoting and good matchmaking goes a long way.
Good matchmaking.
And you have to build these pay-per-view fights, right?
With the 99p range. That's where the 99p range comes in. You can't run a business without your 99p or your 99-cent range. I don't care what kind of business is. I don't care what kind of business is. Okay, Tesla, one of the biggest names out there, one of the hottest names out there. Tesla, they probably got their 99-cent range. They've got their 99-cent range. It's not every Tesla that's a top of the range Tesla. You have your 99-cent range, obviously not 99 cents, but you have your economy range, where very affordable range, and then you have your high-end range for your top quality products. So this flat fee thing with the PBC, it doesn't make business sense. The fight doctor, because we're moving on after your pronouncements.
Yeah, well, so like I said earlier, I think what's going to happen is, putting everything on pay-per-view ultimately is going to flop. And the end result. Business. Well, so boxing is a business, and the purpose of business is to make money. And if you're not making money, then one of two things: either you will adjust your business model or go out of business.
Yeah,
one of the two. So, my thought is that the more that they continue with this pay-per-view nonsense, the more that hopefully somebody will realize that, well, we need to make some adjustments because 40,000, 50,000 pay-per-views, that's not good business. It's just not.
It ain't good business. And talking about good business, Errol Spence relays an interesting story, an interesting tale. If you can see that on the screen, let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. So to be clear, we just outlined what the boys say need to do if they want to stay in business. They got to get a 99-cent range. They got to build storylines, which they are not currently doing. Okay. So, Errol Spence, I got into another car accident 3 months after the big one, the Ferrari flip. My insurance company kicked me out. OMG. Who had heard about the accident after the accident? Anybody heard about the accident after the accident?
Yeah, I heard something about it the other day. I didn't get any details.
Yeah, I've heard about it recently.
This is the first time I'm hearing about it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was the first time I heard about it.
It got covered up then.
Well, it didn't. I never heard about it. I didn't hear about it. Some people did, apparently. It's news to Mike.
There are people who are saying that he's laying the groundwork for excuses for when he loses to Ugas. I'm not sure that's true.
OMG. OMG. Okay, so let's have a look at this thing. Okay, so Errol Spence's driving record became so costly by early 2020 that his insurance provider dropped him. Okay. Spence laughed as he relayed the information to Fox's Kate Abdo during an interview. And let's have a look. Where is it? Okay. So here we are. Okay. So I actually got into another accident 3 months after my accident, Spence said. Somebody hit me from behind. It shook me up a little bit. It's messed up. That's it. But my insurance company kicked me off my insurance because it was a G-Wagon. It was like he messed up a Ferrari and then the G-Wagon, 4x4. So they came out of pocket. They were out of pocket like $600,000 in like 6 months because they paid me outright for both cars. So yeah, they kicked me off my insurance. Okay, so the second time around, it wasn't Errol Spence's fault.
So wait, this doesn't sound right. Now, if you get hit from behind, that implies
it's not
the
your
person
fault.
who hit you is at fault.
Yes,
and that their insurance company is liable for the damages that
That's
they caused.
exactly what I was thinking. That's literally what I was just thinking that if it's not your fault, if you get hit from behind, then it's their insurance, not yours.
Yeah.
So this doesn't pass the smell test. I'm sorry, but why would your insurance company drop you when somebody else hits you from behind? You
shouldn't be going through your insurance in the first place. It should be going through their insurance.
Well, you have to go through your insurance to get to their insurance, though.
Well, yeah, but your insurance doesn't pay anything.
Yeah,
Your insurance don't pay a dime.
That is true. But are we suggesting, Fight Doctor, that you don't believe Errol Spence, that his insurance company kicked him out? I believe him.
Well, what I'm suggesting is that there's more to the story. Like maybe perhaps he was drunk. Like if he were drunk when somebody hit him from behind, then regardless, he's at fault.
No, if he were drunk and somebody hit him from behind, then they wouldn't pay him.
Well, no, you still have insurance and the car is still insured.
No, so but if you're drunk, then that renders your insurance null and void.
But would that not put you at such a massive risk?
Very well could be. But there's more to this story than what meets the eye because this doesn't pass the smell test. I'm sorry, but no. If somebody hits you from behind, they are at fault. So why is your insurance company dropping you? Simply because somebody else hit you. That doesn't make sense.
Was he drunk when he was when he crashed the first time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was drunk.
He
was passed
got a
out.
ban.
He was passed out.
Didn't he also got a ban.
So if he got banned, why is he driving 3 months later?
Hold on. So in England, if I'm driving drunk and I write off my car, the insurance company ain't paying me a penny.
Nope.
That's right, isn't it, John?
I'm confident that is the case.
Yeah,
I
that is the
agree with
case.
you
Yeah.
100%.
I'm pretty sure that's the case over here in
It
the
is the
UK.
case. Yeah, because the first thing that happens is you get breath tested by the police.
Yeah.
If the first thing that happens is you get breathalyzed.
If they suspect that you're
Yeah.
intoxicated.
Even if it doesn't matter, even if you because I've had a car
If you
crash
have an accident where you
have
write
an
off
accident,
the car,
the first thing they do is breath test you. Then if it comes clean, then everything else goes for your insurance. If it comes back that you're under the influence, they will arrest you, and then I don't think you can claim.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'm confident that that's true, and they may even drug test you these days as well. If
That's
you
right.
write off a car, if it's that bad, if you do what Errol Spence did, you would 100% have to have at least an alcohol test, if nothing else.
Yeah, so I don't understand how his insurance paid him out for the Ferrari.
But it's America, so let ask the fight doctor because it might.
So what's the situation, fight doctor? In the UK, you don't get paid a penny if you are intoxicated.
Well, so I'm not an expert on exactly how it works when you have an accident in terms of your insurance when you're drunk. So, I mean, I honestly don't know. I've never been in that situation. I don't know anyone who's been in that situation, so I can't speak to that. But what I can say is this, that when somebody hits you from behind in this country, that person, whoever hit the person from behind, that person is at fault.
Yes.
It's the same
no
here.
questions
That's the same
asked,
here.
right?
It's the same here.
Yeah.
So, in this instance, Errol Spence gets hit from behind through no fault of his own, if that's in fact the case, and his insurance company drops him, that suggests to me that he was doing something wrong. Because what happens is, whoever damaged his car, the insurance company would pay Errol Spence and then recoup their losses from the insurance of the person who hit him from behind. So it'd be they wouldn't lose anything. So there'd be no reason to drop Errol Spence. Okay, because it was no fault of his own. So why are you dropping him? So there's some other extenuating circumstances that are unknown as to why Errol Spence got dropped from his insurance company. There's something in my mind. This tells me he was doing something wrong. Or perhaps he was drunk. Or maybe perhaps he wasn't legally drunk, but he had alcohol in his system.
Or if he was hit from somebody behind who didn't have insurance, then maybe his insurance would then pay out.
I
Yeah, but
don't know how that works. I'm not sure how that
would they drop
works.
you? Because that's not his fault still.
Yeah, and I don't understand how he got paid out for the Ferrari, because he said he got. I'm still stuck on that bit because he was under the
Maybe
influence.
the rules are just different in America, Eric.
Must be.
He was under the influence, so I don't know how. And it was his fault. It was clearly his fault.
In the UK, that wouldn't happen, but I mean, it is.
Yeah. In the UK, he wouldn't have got paid a penny for that first crash.
In the UK, you'd probably have to do jail time for that. But how much? No, because he also damaged public property.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's an amount of alcohol you can have in your system that will you could get custodial for, irrespective of the damage that you do. Yeah. And for him
Earl Spence had enough in his system for all of us to pass out.
Well, how did he get paid out for the first accident? Obviously, clearly the rules are different in America. You can drive drunk, have a crash, and still get paid by your insurance company. OMG. Over here, you wouldn't get a red penny.
Over here, you get your car took off you.
Yeah. Well, there
Yeah,
wasn't any of the
jail.
car left. There wasn't any of the car left.
But that's what I mean. You wouldn't have a car to claim on. You'd
Yeah.
have it. You'd have it
could
took
go
off
in
you.
jail.
You're being
Yeah,
pounded and further crushed. Further crushed. That's why I bought the horse. His first accident, he was drunk and he had a gun on him. The gun charge disappeared. Well, damn. I mean, that's
in Texas you can carry a concealed weapon, can't you?
concealed weapon.
Yeah.
He had a permit.
Yeah, I don't think
but there's
He'll
a
have had a
rule.
permit.
There's a rule against being in control of a weapon whilst drunk in some states.
You sure that
So he was
applies
in-
in Texas?
yeah,
They're
but-
very
yeah, but
Yeah,
Raphie-
I think most states that have a law allowing concealed carry also have a law saying that you can't conceal carry while under the influence. So if
Okay.
he's carrying a
Well, I'll
pistol,
take your word for that, Fight Doctor.
Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen it. I watch them cop programs. I've seen it.
No, I'm sure that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, it sounds like it should be right. That should be a law.
You'd
can't-
hope so, wouldn't you?
You
But I
can't-
don't trust any country that allows you to walk around with a concealed weapon anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I just think that having a right to protect yourself, I agree, but you
Walking
have a right
around
to protect
with a concealed
with
weapon.
a gun.
That's a bit.
I think it's
America was built on the gun, though. America was built on the gun, so it makes sense to many Americans.
When are you moving over there, Raph?
Me moving to America? Nah, I'm good.
I had a friend come over from America once, and he was shocked that the police didn't carry guns. All the police didn't carry guns. It was like, what? Have they not got guns? No.
What was his background, Derek?
Pardon?
What was his background?
He was from Baltimore.
And was he a white or African American?
No, he was a black guy.
Yeah. So surely he felt a bit relieved walking around.
He was shocked. He was like, what? Have they not got guns? I was like, no, not all of them. You've got like the armed police who will, but there's not that many of them dotting around everywhere unless you're in a city, unless you're like in Manchester or London or something like that. I was like, not around here, no. He was like,
not around here.
So what do they do?
The American police. I watch certain channels who talk about abuse of power. I watch them. I'm subscribed to a number of those channels, and it's kind of crazy how they act over there. One of those videos I watched, I think it was yesterday, and it was a hotel receptionist, an African American hotel receptionist. It was in Florida. This abusive. What do you call that? What do you call that flag? What do you call that flag?
The Dixie one.
The Dixie.
the Confederate battle flag.
Confederate guy, looking guy, comes into the hotel lobby and starts getting abusive with the African American receptionist. And the police are called. The Confederate guy is told to get the hell on up out of there. And then he leaves. They're told by the police he leaves. And he comes back sometimes later, pushes past the barrier to get into the reception area, but behind the African American receptionist's desk, and then he approaches him violently. The African American receptionist puts a beating on him, subdues him, calls the police. The police come in and they arrest the African American receptionist.
Thanks for assault.
Well, that's why I was wondering whether Eric's friend felt a bit reassured that our police did.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was shocked, and he was like, "Wow, like it's crazy." But and me, I'm like that. If I ever go to London or things like that, and I see police with guns, I'm like, "Oh shit!" I just feel uncomfortable with anyone with guns walking around. I've got to go to St. Lucia, back to St. Lucia in October, and I'm dreading it because I know what it's like over there.
Well, I don't trust that system where people have got guns on their hips.
No.
Even the police with guns on their hips, it gives them a sense of power,
Yeah, power,
entitlement to abuse that power.
The
So
police,
that's why I don't dig it. I don't dig it.
The police have used their power in this country, but they are limited to the weapons.
They use it. They use it more so, not as in so much physical, although they do that. But it's more of a mental thing to basically say you're lower than me, I'm higher than you. Do as I say, or else. It's one of those. They talk down to you. They treat you like, and that's what they do. They do over here. It's not so much with the guns. That's why I say when I go to London or Manchester and I see them with guns and stuff like that, I'm on edge.
Armed police in Manchester, Eric? Because I mean, I lived there for 13 years. I don't ever remember seeing
when I go to games, watch Man United and stuff like that.
You see, because I've seen mounted, but I've never.
When I go to Old Trafford, they as you walking in, there's armed police all down.
I've seen armed police. I've seen armed police at airport.
Old Trafford since about 2010.
Yeah,
maybe things have changed.
Yeah, when I go watch,
I see armed police at airports. I see armed
airports have always been there.
Yeah. No, when I go and watch Man U, they're there.
Okay. So that's why, the when they got the iron on the hip, the police, they tend to act a little bit kind of crazy sometimes. So I don't dig it.
I just think it's also crazy, Raphie, that people are allowed guns, but then it's an excuse for a police officer to use their gun.
Yeah.
When people are allowed that, have you got a gun? Have you got a weapon on you? And they're like, yeah, I've got a permit for it. The moment they say, yes, I've got a permit, yes. Like the police is on edge. They're like, straight away, they've got the guns out. That's a recipe for disaster.
Recipe for disaster.
Have you seen how the American police are trained to deal with any potentially, potentially violent?
Shoot to kill.
Shoot first.
They're trained to use maximum force as first port of call.
Yeah. But my problem is, I've seen multiple videos of people getting shot in the back, unarmed people running away from the police. Oh, you're running away!
Why not shoot at the leg or something?
Well, if they're running away and they're unarmed, why the hell are you shooting them in the first place?
Why not you chase them?
Yeah, why don't you run?
A good old foot chase. That's what we've got to do here.
Cut down on the donuts and run.
Yeah.
Why are you shooting somebody who you don't know is armed in the back and they're running away from you?
It's crazy.
How the hell is that justifiable? I've seen so many of them videos. It's unbelievable to me. But hey, what is this story here? We got another story. As we draw close to the end. Solved a lot of riddles and mysteries in this show. Who's this here? Oh yeah, Iron Kong has returned. Iron Kong. We're talking about. Looks like Floyd Mayweather Jr. is fighting an exhibition on May the 14th in Dubai. What's this here? Pull up a little bit more. He's fighting at that place, that hotel or whatever it is, that landing strip, that helicopter pad.
Yeah.
Who the hell is he fighting? 8-round exhibition match in Dubai against a fighter named Don Moore next month. 45-year-old Mayweather will face Moore on a helipad in Dubai. It's got a specific name, which they don't seem to go into in this article. It's unclear. Why Mayweather chose the little-known Moore as his opponent rather than a retired, well-known boxer that would attract more interest. With the fight taking place in Dubai, perhaps Mayweather felt it didn't matter if he fought a good opponent. What else? What is this? Don Moore's last opponents: Deshaun Williams, Raimundo Hernandez, Alfredo Guanaros, Randy Dodds, Reggie Saunders, Bobby Connors. Bobby Connors, what's that? 0-6. Wow. 6-22. What is this? 12-44. These are some
presumably
abysmal. Those are some abysmal records.
Presumably, he's just getting paid a huge purse without them worrying about selling it.
That seems highly likely. On the undercard is MMA fighter Anderson Silva, who will fight Bruno Machado. Also on the undercard is former 2-division world champion Badu Jack fighting a yet-to-be-determined opponent.
Is it? He's still a TMZ fighter, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No, he's got his own promotional company.
Badu Jack, yeah, he's over in
Yeah,
Dubai.
in
Badu
Dubai,
Jack.
yeah, he left TMT.
Badu Jack is doing business over in Dubai. The Fight Doctor, talk to me about Floyd Mayweather coming back, his comeback.
So the circus continues.
Mm-hmm.
The big top, the 3 rings, it carries on. Listen, Floyd Mayweather's attention whoring is eventually going to get him the Bernard Hopkins knockout treatment.
I think
right?
so.
We all remember Joe Smith, Bernard Hopkins. And in my mind, Floyd Mayweather is headed in that same direction. Paying for the hookers and the Ferraris and the Bentleys and the big houses and the hangers-ons, trying to maintain that stupid, silly lifestyle is going to get him knocked out. But I tell you what, listen, I don't have to pay for it. I'll watch and be entertained at all of the foolishness and tomfoolery and shucking and jiving. So I'll watch in amazement, but I'm not paying for it. So, if Floyd Mayweather wants to make himself look even more like a circus clown, then have at it, Hoss. Go right ahead. Do your thing.
The Iron Kong.
What's amazing is that, Floyd Mayweather is the guy that is being used as a template, the selling point for, I guess, the PBC. So look what we did with Floyd. We can do the same for you. Let me tell you something. If I'm a young fighter, I don't want to be doing this, into my old age. I should want to do this, not because I overspend all the time. As Fight Doctor says, I have to pay people to show me affections because people don't actually like me. You have to pay people for that, and you spend so much that you have to keep doing these strange things. I don't know if this person is an actual fighter or not. Maybe he's just some guy, who wants to get in there with Floyd. But I don't know, man. Floyd is in Dubai doing some strange thing. He's selling these weird gel paintball things,
gel blasters.
He's all over there hawking security companies. I don't know, man. But from what some people have noted is that he's doing this separate and apart from Al Heyman. So it doesn't seem like PBC and Al Heyman getting any cut of this. It's just Floyd alone. And I don't know. I mean, there is something to be said about maybe if you choose to do this just for fun to make a little extra, or does he have to? Does he have to do it? Is he that much of an attention whore, as Fight Doctor said? Or is he doing this just to, as a little fun or whatever? Because you could be doing this just for fun. And you could be doing this because you can't stay out the limelight. You cannot. I saw LB make some quote about Canelo again. Canelo will always be in the shadow of Money Man. There's a weird obsession with Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather's team. Very strange obsession.
They talk about this guy when Canelo's not even talking about him.
Yeah.
And I wish Floyd the best. Let him go ahead do what he do. I wish him the best. I hope he doesn't, as y'all said, get the Bernard Hopkins, because one of these one of these people he's messing around with might really swing for real.
Yeah.
And catch him, because he's getting older, bro.
He's heading towards it.
Same.
He's heading towards it.
Yeah, so that's me.
Is flirting. Is John Dealey, is Floyd Mayweather flirting with danger?
Not in this fight, but you can't carry on doing this indefinitely. I think the big thing you've got to look at with Bernard Hopkins is, how old was he when he fought Joe Smith?
51, I think he was.
50. I know he was past 50.
Proven puncher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Floyd ain't going to get him with a proven puncher now. I guarantee you that much. But it's foolish. I've heard some rumours, and I don't know how true they are, that Floyd contributed to the purse for the Canelo Plant pay-per-view to actually get it over the line.
Okay.
So he may well be short of cash. 50 Cent seems to think he's skint for whatever that's worth. I also think he has fallen out with Al.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's out there trying to make some other cash. I mean, maybe he is an attention whore, but I am wondering whether they're casting all this shade over Canelo because they actually tanked a bit on that card. I'm not sure how good the numbers were with Canelo versus Plant, but the amount of money they fronted up, there had to be good numbers. Not a mediocre Canelo 500,000 sales. It had to be a million. So I think Floyd's skin, to be honest. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was attention whoring at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, Doctor, do you know how many pay-per-views the Canelo Plant card sold in the States?
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't think it was. I mean, it did. If I recall, it probably did good numbers, but I don't think it did amazing numbers.
Because but that purse was massive. What was it? $40 million for Canelo.
Yeah, I think he made 40 million, and plus, I think Plant made another 10.
So, like, an average Canelo card, I'm not sure that's got all that covered, like 500,000 buys. I don't know if that covers that.
An estimated 800,000 buys.
Yeah, I did hear 800, but then I don't trust BBC, so
yeah.
I mean, 800 could easily be 4.5.
Well, I haven't heard many dissenting voices on the 800,000, I must confess.
Well, to be fair, 800 would mean that Floyd should have got his money back on that, I would have thought.
Yeah, but they don't get the money back. It gets reinvested. That's how Al does it. We know.
MG.
Anyway, well, the other thing is, does Al own some of Floyd's so that he could just take some of Floyd's money to put the fight on without Floyd's permission?
Yeah, it'll be reinvested. We all know that.
OMG, for people who don't know, the inside thing is that some people had invested, put some money in with Floyd's name on the top of the letterhead, and it's gone to court. There's been at least one case gone to court where it was outlined that the investor was supposed to get double his money or whatever, but instead that money got reinvested, allegedly, inverted commas, reinvested, so he didn't get it then. I said, "No, you're going to get it back on the second fight."
Is that not a ticket tout as well? That was about a ticket tout.
That was tickets. That was about tickets. But the reinvestment principle is there. The reinvestment principle is there. Whether he could pull that one on Floyd with all his resources, maybe short term, yay. Long term, I say nay. So it looks like Floyd's out of the Al Heyman business, at least to an extent, doing his own thing now, making his own money independently of any other, independently of Al. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. But you know something, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached that point of the show now where we've gone on for way over time. But it's been an entertaining one. Lots of different voices. Okay, so we're gonna go around the panel, and we're gonna for the final words. Let's go with the Iron Kong. Iron Kong, glad you could join us this evening.
Yeah, I was just here looking for some football boots for my children. I didn't want them to start football, but I prefer them to play basketball. But kids always, win over in the end.
Yes.
So I'm here looking for some football boots for them, but I have no idea what sizes these children wear.
No, you can't buy the boots without the kids being there to try them on. No way, no how.
No, I know I mean order stuff because I don't like companies. So I don't like going into shoe stores.
Oh,
so
no, you have to no. Hold on. If it's shoes or boots, it's essential that you actually try them on. Take it from me.
Yeah.
Take it from experience. Take it from me. I've ordered. I was one of the foolish ones who made an order with Wish.
Dear.
And I advise anyone to stay away from Wish. I bought a coat. It was supposed to be XX. And no word of a lie, I could just about get my arm in the thing, much less get it over the other shoulder.
Is that China XX, Raphie?
It's just China XX. No word of a lie. I had to literally get the tape measure out and show the length, the width, and photograph it, send it back to Wish, say, listen, these are the dimensions. This is not XXL. This ain't XXL. They gave me my money back. Fine. I didn't learn my lesson. I bought some shoes. I didn't learn my lesson. I bought some shoes. They were supposed to be a UK size 13 that equals a USA size 14. Fair enough, they were a bit closer, but they weren't a 13. I reckon they were probably 11 and a half.
That's
my toes
the
were all
China.
scrunched up.
The China sizes, right?
My toes were all scrunched up in the damn thing. Once again, I had to put them next to some size 13s to show the difference, and got my money back.
I hope you've never shopped there again, Raphie.
No,
I hope Wish is blocked.
No way, no. Well, I did buy a rug from them, and to be honest with you, the damn thing, a year later, the rug is still in the wrapper. I might just throw it in the bin without opening it. You know what I mean? Anyway, back to the Iron Kong.
Yeah, so the football boots debacle is happening currently.
Uh-oh.
But I'll figure it out sooner rather than later. Yeah, man, just, peace to y'all. I see Terrence Crawford out here begging support for Ukraine. I just want to tell Terrence Crawford, people that look like you got left to freeze on a train station platform.
Mm-hmm.
So please mind your business, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, bro. Y'all be easy.
Yeah, that was the Iron Kong 26. This guy's own channel. Be sure to check him out. Raphie got himself some freezes. Damn. They tricked me. I thought they were genuine Wheezies for 20 quid. I thought they were genuine. Damn it. They said it was a special offer.
I like that one.
They said it was a special offer. And once again, it was in the Chinese size. OMG. And then we have, the Big Boys Boxing was on earlier. Got his own channel for sure. Go check him out. Thanks for that, the Big Boys Boxing. And then we go to the Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor, good to have you up on here. Your final words, please.
Shout out to the Iron Kong for keeping it 100. So it's unfortunate we didn't get a chance to talk about the pointless, meaningless middleweight quote unquote title fight coming up this Saturday.
You can do it.
Yeah, well, they should bill it as the fight between the has been versus the never was.
Uh-oh.
Because that's essentially what we're going to see Saturday. And, you know, I've never seen a guy in Gennady Golovkin receive so much for having done so little.
Uh-oh.
You can make an argument that the best win on his resume is a welterweight. And his supporters, his staunch supporters, want to mention him in the same sentence as Marvin Hagler, which is ridiculous.
Uh-oh.
So I'm looking forward to the fallout from the fight this Saturday, because either way, it will be pointless and meaningless. If Golovkin wins, he will have knocked out a guy 16-2, and his diehards are going to spin it as if he just knocked out Thomas Hearns. As opposed to if he loses, well, he just lost to a guy who's 16-2. And I'm sure that his diehards will spin it as if he just got knocked out by Marvin Hagler. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. And that was the fight, Doctor. Good to have you. Much appreciation. Much appreciation. That was a fight, Doctor. Okay. Then there were 3. ERF Boxing. Your final words, please. Glad to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, by the way, Floyd is obsessed with the limelight. I think not being in the limelight is why he's doing this. It's got something to do with money, because you don't do these commercials in Dubai for nothing. He's doing it for money.
Yeah.
Also, Floyd's whole mantra was, I want to leave this sport with my faculties.
Yeah.
I don't want to be fighting such as when I'm so many years old, I'm leaving the sport with my faculties, blah, 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 blah. But yet you've retired how many years ago? And since you retired, you fought 3 times.
The Berto was his actual last.
Berto was his last fight. So after that, he fought Connor, he fought Logan Paul, Tunshin Nakatani, or whatever his name is. And now he's about to fight Dangerous Don, as we would call him.
Yeah.
So he's doing 4 fights after he retired. This isn't telling me this is a guy who wants to leave the sport. He misses the limelight.
Yeah.
Floyd doesn't like the fact people are talking about Canelo. Because his whole career, he's gone from whoever he's beat, they've gone on to not really don't do anything after he's beat them. Just about every fighter he's beat when there was something, when they had a name, they really haven't done anything after he beat them.
Yeah. He
sort of ruined them. And Canelo's that one guy who did and who's still doing it. And I think Floyd's thing is, why are people hyping this guy? I beat him already. Okay. So Floyd doesn't like not being in limelight. He doesn't like not being the guy. Even Tank now, Tank's come out and said he's jealous of him. I can't remember who put in the chat. He's announced he's fighting again on the same day Tank has his press conference with Rowley.
Yeah.
For his fight. So Floyd, he's obsessed with he's obsessed with outshining people. He cannot stand when other people are outshining him. That's the last I'll say for that. And as my end, Devin Haney will become the undisputed lightweight champion on June 5th.
Okay. And that was the ERF Boxing. ERF, have yourself a good night, my friend. Thanks for
you too.
That was the ERF Boxing. I think he's got his own channel. Be sure to go over there and check him out. And then there were 2, John Daly. Thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping on, John. It's been a while.
Thanks for having me, Raph. It's always good fun. So back to the beginning. I don't understand why promoters have forgotten how to promote, and why you think slagging off the opponent in the build-up to a fight is a good idea. Eddie Hearn will always oversell the opponents, not slate them and belittle them. So there's that. There's the undercards, hideous. And Floyd, I don't really understand what's going on with him at all. I think there's some serious issues. I think we've covered most of them. But it does show how hard it is to do what Lennox did. Lennox left as a champion, stayed out of the ring, got all his faculties and got all his money. And so you have to give him credit for that. So I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, that was the John D. Lee. Much appreciation goes out to the John D. Lee. And all the guys who took time out of their day to jump on to entertain the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio troops. And much appreciation goes out to the AJ Spy, who becomes the sponsor of the show with his kind donation. Much appreciated. Much appreciation goes out to the AJ Spy, aka Alex. Thanks for that, my friend. Thanks for that. Okay, we did a long one. There's a lot of people on the panel, so everybody got their turn. We made sure everybody got their turn. We got a chance to, express themselves. And a very enjoyable affair it was. Okay. So what can I say that hasn't already been said? Frank Warren making a pig's ear of the undercard. You may as well just had just the main event. Just the main event. You may as well just have the main event. No, stop messing around. Who's going to watch the undercard? I don't think the Raphie will. But of course, we're going to be covering the main event live here on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Show. So, as per usual, with all the videos, don't be afraid to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Let people know. Don't keep this thing a secret. Don't keep this as a guilty pleasure. It's good for everybody. So don't be afraid to share. Thank you for everybody in the chat who took time out of their day to come over here to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And it's way past midnight, but it's okay. Raphie working from home tomorrow, Friday. Great stuff. So what else is there to say? It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed.